Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 30.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8 electoral votes, in Indiana with its 11 electoral votes, West Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to CobraCast 199. What's up to the Snake Pit, the best chat on the internet? And I apologize for the thumbnail. For the first time ever in the history of CobraCast, Geeks and Gamers, or any stream I've ever been on, Can Man was begging to see my face just so we could get rid of that thumbnail. So I will apologize in advance for that pretty evil thumbnail. But hey, got to do what you got to do, man. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and the RINOs are doing everything in their power right now to get Nikki Hillary on the ticket. And I think that this is part of one of their kind of last-ditch efforts to kind of derail Trump. It's not their final one. And someone yesterday, I was doing a super chat square up because I did the square up yesterday on my gaming stream last night on Cobra 199. Thank you all. I apologize for not getting to all of them. Obviously, it was a really big stream yesterday. But we, someone super chatted and essentially was like, what is their Hail Mary attempt? Because I've talked about, like, when people get desperate, like late in a football game or something like that, when all of your, schemes and all of the things that you've drawn up, all the plays, all of the planning, all of it hasn't worked. And you found yourself down, 14 points in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go, or even 30 seconds to go. You throw a Hail Mary. It's an act of desperation. And that's kind of where we are leading to with the Democrats and the RINOs and the mainstream. They are getting to that point of desperation. And we will talk about what that desperation is here in just a minute. Tanner says, anytime you call Jeremy a Trump worshiper, which he is, he goes into a hissy fit and throws an eighth grade level insults. Well, Tanner, I appreciate the fact that you say that I only throw eighth grade level insults when I'm upset, but the reality of it is I throw eighth grade level insults no matter what. I do it to my friends. I do it to people that don't like me. I do it to the closest people in my circle. Only the bitch-made people like you get offended by it. So that's really what it comes down to, Tanner. It really just comes down to the fact that you are pathetic. You sit when you pee. And that's a very feminine thing to do, by the way. But it's okay. I understand. Thank you for using proper pronouns, by the way. Bitch-made. That is for Tanner. Bitch-made. Use the proper pronouns for Tanner. Bitch-made. All right? Those are the proper pronouns. So let's make sure we do that from now on. But yeah, I just don't give me too many compliments because I'm definitely not mature. I am a very immature grown ass man, and I stand by that. I stand by that. But we very much believe in the proper pronouns, so we need to make sure. All right, bitch made. There you go. All right. So, where are we at? We got gifted memberships flying. And you know, we like to see those gifted memberships. I am running this through StreamYard, so I don't really have the chat that we can show right now. I've already had Hailstorm yelling at me, giving me eighth grade level insults, shockingly enough. That's just what we do. Hailstorm, I'm gonna bring you in for a minute. Hailstorm. Did you insult me right before the stream started?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Is it that kind of how we roll around here? Like, it's just what we do. The fuck? Bitch-made people just can't accept it. But go fuck yourself, Hailstorm.
Nerds.
No, do what? Say it again.
I said have fun with gay string nerds. Bye.
Bye. All right. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Texas. Craziness going on. We've also got rhinos melting down, trying their best to get Nikki Hillary in the as VP, which isn't going to happen. Anthony says Boston loves D-Day Cobra. Look at that, man. Listen, Boston, I am envious of Boston. Okay, I'm envious of the sports passion in Boston, whether it's the Red Sox, whether it's the Celtics, whether it's the Patriots. The passion for Boston sports is just next level. It's unbelievable. So I envy Boston sports. I really do. And, now that the Patriots aren't dominating and Tom Brady's not there and Bill Belichick's gone, I kind of like the Patriots again. Now that they're not now that we've moved on, it's about the organization. The Patriots, except for Mayo, the new head coach with his identity politics bullshit. That's another discussion for another time, though. But yes, the NFL does need Brady, 100%. The NFL has fallen very far without the great Tom Brady. Where are we at here? Eric Guidewall gifted 5 D-Day Cobra memberships. Thank you. Curtis Bartle gifted 5 D-Day Cobra memberships. Thank you. Drunk 3PO. Man, my teeth are crooked. Jared the American. Cheers on the Bonnie Blue flag and the state's rights. Yes, Texas kicking ass right now. Drunk 3PO. Oh, it's the PO. Drunk the PO. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Jeremy being late and gayer than my name. Drew Bar 100 becomes a 11-month member message. Thank you. 50 Shades of Grayson. At first, I thought this intro would get old, but it's a solid reminder of the odds last time and the source of great optimism now. Good work, Germ 199. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought that intro would not have lasted this long. I thought people would get tired of it, but people still really do like it, and it gets people really motivated and pumped up. So we're going to stick with it, and hopefully we're going to be able to have an updated version in 2024 or after the 2024 election. That, actually, that's a, you know what? Let's get some feedback from the Snake Pit. All right. Let's see. Tired of the intro. Let's actually get some actual feedback. Tired of the intro? There's the poll in the chat. You know, the snake pit. We listen to the snake pit here. So we'll see. Swig of water for the working man. Man, look at that. Ooh, okay. It's a little lower than I thought it might be. All right. We're going to let that one ride for a minute. Okay. We're going to let that one ride for a minute. And we're going to talk about something really quick because this happened today. And this is someone that I'm actually a fan of, this person and their sports takes. This was one of the biggest backfires I have seen in a long time. But Clay Travis really stepped into it. Now, Clay Travis, I know Clay Travis from being a sports commentator and the creator of Outkick the Coverage. I've always liked Clay Travis. I used to listen to Clay Travis's radio show, and he was always a really interesting and entertaining Fox Sports commentator and a sports commentator overall. Outkick the Coverage really took off several years ago. I think he sold it to Fox News. And then him and I don't know who the other guy is, Buck. Is it Buck Sexton? I think they took over the time slot and basically the show for Rush Limbaugh from a political standpoint. All right. Now, Clay Travis basically went all in for DeSantis. All right. And he's really upset now, I guess, that Ronnie Boy is no longer in the mix, which, again, for anybody with a working brain and the slightest bit of common sense, you already knew that Ron DeSantis stood no chance. You have to be retarded to think that Ron DeSantis had any chance. I'm not saying that you're retarded for preferring Ron DeSantis. There's two different ways to look at this. It's okay if you think that Ron DeSantis could have potentially been a better candidate than Donald Trump in the early phases. I'm not arguing those points. You can think that, and that makes a lot of sense from certain perspectives. Even though I would disagree, I can at least understand where you're coming from. You have to be retarded if you thought Ron DeSantis stood any chance at beating Donald Trump, because he never had a chance. It was never even close. Carrie Lake is live right now. Where is Carrie Lake live? I didn't even know this. I just saw that from let's see, Nitrium. Is Carrie Lake, where is Carrie Lake live? I will pull that up and we will react right now. I didn't know she was live. Is she on YouTube? I don't see anything on YouTube. Let me look at Rumble. Where is she live at? Is she on Rumble? Somebody find this for me, peeps. Carrie Lake. Is she on Bannon's War Room? Is it Bannon? All right, here we go.
Country, and I believe with everything I've got, all my heart, that we are going to have our greatest days ahead. President Trump's going to work his tail off, and so am I, to make this country better. And we're going to make America great again, as he says.
All right, I've got the last one.
Last question?
Yes.
Okay.
This one, you got it. This one says, we feel lost and we don't know what to do.
Oh.
What can we do to help the movement, and what can we do to help America?
Oh my gosh. I just want to look. I wish I could look into your faces right now. We are not lost. We are coming back. Our best days are ahead of us. The fact that you're sitting here watching this in the middle of the week shows that you're involved, you're engaged, you care, just like I do. I mean, I never in a million years, 5 years ago, would have seen myself, envisioned myself in politics in the middle of a political movement. But here we are. And everywhere I go around the country, I go to liberal cities, liberal states, conservative cities, and conservative states. And people everywhere come up and say, thank you for fighting. Thanks for talking about election integrity, for fighting for it. Thank you for being involved. This next 10 months is going to rely on every single one of us to use our God-given rights, and or God-given abilities, I should say, to save our God-given rights. Your abilities might be, you might say, well, what abilities do I have when it comes to politics? Maybe it's just picking up a phone and you like to talk to people and calling people, getting involved in a phone bank. Maybe it's answering emails for a campaign. Maybe it's protesting some of this ridiculous stuff you're seeing that the left is pushing. And by protesting, I mean not buying products that are pushing this agenda on our children. Or maybe protesting means literally holding a sign up and saying you're not for something. We all have to get involved. Get involved with your local Republican club, whether it's Republican Women's Club, whether it's the state party. And I'm hoping that after Saturday, we're going to have a very strong Arizona state party. Get involved with campaigns. We have to be involved the next 10 years. And most importantly, use your voice. The most important and the strongest and most potent weapon we have is our voice. So we got to use our voice and make sure that we are speaking out about the candidates we like. Don't worry about what the media says. Speak out and support President Trump and myself and everybody else who's a America First candidate. Are we good? Okay, guys. I'm so glad that you joined me. I appreciate it. I'm exhausted. I'm sure you are. It's been a very long few days. We just came from the East Coast. And I appreciate you for being here. I wanted to answer questions of everybody in the media who had asked me. But frankly, there's not enough hours in the day. We had hundreds of media requests, and I'm going to try to get to some individual people in the media in the next couple of days. But I appreciate you joining me here.
All right, so she's I've got it pulled up over on her page too. Do we want to rewind it and listen to it because I missed all of it? So we could actually back this up, but this is looks like this went on for about 45 minutes. Let's see here. Not even 45 minutes, really. It doesn't look like it wasn't that long. Let's see, when did she join? So it doesn't like it was that long, actually. So is she talking right then and there?
Waiting for this to start up, and I'm really on.
All right, so we got about, looks like a good 20, 30 minutes. So let's play it. We're playing it back. So we're playing it back from the beginning. This is Kari Lake, who just ended her live stream. Now, as you guys know, if you're just joining in or if you're new to the channel, I'm a huge fan of Kari Lake. And why am I a huge fan of Kari Lake? Because she is a very, very, very strong ally of President Trump. And she never has wavered on that. She's never backed down. We've recently had a situation where there was some leaked audio of her. They were attempting to bribe her to drop out of the race. And we've all heard that audio since then. That GOP, what was he? I can't remember the guy's name. You'll say the guy's name in the chat, but he resigned today, as a matter of fact, which I do have that pulled up. And I will show all of you that really quickly before we listen to what Kari Lake had to say. Right here. We got it. Okay, so here it is right here. Share this tab instead. Not the right one. Here we go. Jeff DeWitt to resign as Arizona Republican Party chair after recording revealed he offered Kari Lake a bribe to not run for Senate. It's time for him to name names. So he said to Kari Lake in these recordings, there are very powerful people. There are very powerful people that don't want her to run. And as I said, listening to that, hey, if there are he's admitting there are very powerful people that don't want Kari Lake to run for Senate. Can you only imagine the level that President Trump is dealing with? So now with this news coming out right here, Kari Lake has done a live stream. We're going to back this up. The live stream just ended. We're going to listen to it in its entirety for her to address all of these questions. So here we go.
Honored that you guys would give me a little bit of your night. We're like, here we are midweek. And I'm glad that your social life is as exciting as mine, that we are all here and we care deeply about our country. We're trying to save our country right now. And so I'm glad that you're joining us. We decided to put this on Twitter as well. We didn't even let anybody know, but we're really happy about that. So, hey, what's going on? Nothing happening in the world, right? We just got back in Arizona, the amazing state, the most amazing, beautiful, and sadly corrupt state, in my opinion, in the country. We were in New Hampshire, helping to do a little stumping for President Trump, because we got to turn this country around, guys. We have got to bring our country back and bring our government back to we the people. And so on our way back, we decided, literally on our way back on the plane, we said, we're getting inundated with people who are asking questions. They're asking questions. Oh, my microphone might not be there. They're asking questions about what's going on with this whole recording that has been put out there in the media. And the media has been reaching out saying, we want to do interviews. And I said, there's only one of me. There's only so many hours in the day and I can't do all the interviews. So we decided to do a Rumble Live and now Twitter Live. And we want your questions. So ask us your questions.
Now, shout out to her for focusing on Rumble and Twitter. That's awesome. And the more we have people that are focusing on Rumble and Twitter for the place. Now, so what's cool about this is now a lot of the mainstream's not going to talk about this. They're not going to talk about this because why would they talk about this? This blows up their narrative. But when you have influential people like this and their sole places are Rumble and Twitter, eventually it's going to force the mainstream to have to go, oh, well, this happened on Rumble. That's beautiful. So again, thank you to Nitrium for highlighting this. Carrie Lake speech interview is an actual 10 out of 10. Look at that. Or well, you're the reason we're watching it. The chat always makes this show. The chat has control of this show.
Questions. We are going to start with the first question. Are you getting any questions?
So I have one. There's so much.
There's so much going. I've got Colton over here helping me out.
Okay, I've got
I said, Colton, Colton, no one's going to join us. The media wants to talk to us. He said, no, we're going to go live to the people. And he was right. He said, we're going to take that filter out from the media. The media always.
This account, what is Rumble's daily traffic? I don't know the specifics, but I can guarantee that it is far less than your mom's vagina. Continuing on.
Will put their own filter in. I just did an interview with a fake news.
So, okay, I have one that says, Carrie, it moves so fast. Who told Jeff DeWitt to bribe you?
Who told Jeff DeWitt to bribe me? I don't know. I wish I did know. As a matter of fact, I've thought about it many a day since then. And I've laid awake at night wondering who it could have been, what group, what person. But isn't it sad that you could literally, for 24 hours, think about it, wonder, guess, and that our government is so corrupt. Washington, D.C., the people back east, as he said, is so corrupt that you could literally probably come up with a list of about 400 or 500 people and groups that are behind this. And that's the sad thing. And this is why I am getting into politics. I'm in politics. This is why President Trump is in politics, because we want to make sure that we root out that kind of corruption. We can't have that kind of corruption happening in Washington, D.C. And frankly, it starts in Washington, in D.C., and it moves down into capitals across the country, into the state houses, into the municipalities. And what happens is people run for office and immediately they get bribed, they get blackmailed, and they become controllable. And this is what's wrong with our country. Got another question?
I got another one. Was this the first time that something like this has happened to you?
Oh, boy. I don't even want to answer this because when I got into politics, it became so corrupt. I mean, I worked.
Bro, this is good. This is good stuff right here. Again, shout out to Nitrium for letting me know about this. This is some good stuff right here. Now, again, I've told you guys, I am a huge fan of the series House of Cards. Now, except for the final season. The final season is a complete and total disaster. I know Kevin Spacey, weirdo, all that. I'm talking about the show itself. And if you watch the show House of Cards, I think it's the first 3 seasons are some of the best television you will ever see. And it definitely does give you some insight into how filthy and dirty and slimy and devious Washington politics are, because it is terrible. And hearing her talk about this stuff is pretty damn fascinating.
Worked in media. The media is really corrupt right now. They're pushing propaganda. This is why I walked out of my job. I walked out of a 7-figure contract because I said, I don't want to be part of a corrupt cabal. I don't want to be part of pushing propaganda. And actually, I've never told this story. I don't even know if I should tell it. Should I tell that story? after we won the primary in the governor's race, there was an individual who'd been supportive of us, and we were really happy about it. And we asked him to become more involved in our campaign. We were really happy to have his support. He was a man who had been quite successful, and he wanted to start a PAC for us. He wanted to give some money to a PAC. For those of you who don't know, because I'm kind of new to politics as well, PACs will spend money running commercials for you and ads that will help propel your message or maybe expose what's going on with your opponents. And this individual was willing to put $1 million into a PAC. And I said, that's wonderful. Thank you. We're really happy. This is a grassroots campaign. If somebody has a means and they want to put money into helping us get elected so we can save Arizona, we love it. And about 24 hours later, I got an email from this person who put his asks. He put his asks in. He said, well, if I'm going to do that, I have some asks that I demand of you. And these asks were really outrageous. They were basically, you can't be around MAGA type people. You can't support President Trump. You can't support other MAGA candidates. And
you see all these fucking Republicans that are always stabbing Trump in the back, always twisting and manipulating and going after MAGA. It's all an op. It's all an op.
Listen, I wanted to get the whole slate elected, and I wanted to bring our movement over to everybody who was running on the Republican ticket. I wanted everybody who was Republican to win. And so I said, I can't agree to those asks. And we literally said, thanks, but no thanks. And somebody who had been in politics for a while and who was on our campaign said to me, I've never seen anybody in the history of my time in politics who said no to $1 million because they didn't want to do a few simple things. But I didn't think it was simple to say I'm willing to turn my back on President Trump. I'm willing to turn my back on other Republican candidates. I'm not willing to take somebody's money with a whole bunch of strings attached. So that was one example. There's been probably others that I can't think of right now. But when President Trump calls Washington, D.C. the swamp, he truly means it. It is swampy, it's disgusting, and it's corrupt. And I want to, well, we just had a little something dropped in my office here, and we want to change that.
I've got.
All right, Carrie Lake can join Friday Night Tights, apparently. Says, we make mistakes like that all the time, Carrie Lake. So we'd love to have you on Friday Night Tights.
A lot of people are asking, are you worried for your safety?
I have been worried about our safety, but this comes with the territory right now. We're in an era right now where the world is very dangerous. When we were on the campaign trail for the governor's office, I laughed because my team would say, are you kidding? You have another slashed tire? We'd go in and we'd have a meeting of 400 or 500 people, Arizonans who were happy to see us and would join into us. And we would basically come back out. And we would get in the car and we'd start driving down the freeway and our tire would be flat. Our tire would go flat immediately. We would get the warning. We had that happen so many times. So I've recently gotten emails telling me that they want to take me out, neutralize me. I've had threatening phone calls, but it comes with the territory. We're not living in normal times. We're living in dangerous times. And when people threaten you, they're trying to stop you. And why are they trying to stop you? Because you are effective, because you are making a difference. And as I said in that video, and I hope that many of you had a chance to see it, they will have to kill me to stop me. I am a mother. And if you're a mom out there, raise your hand, let me know you're out there. If you're a father out there, we've all seen those videos where we see dads and moms over the past where you see them like lifting a car's rolled over a child, and literally you see like 2 dads and a mom or 3 dads lifting a car like they have superhuman strength. And that is that energy and that certain thing that we have inside of us when we become parents that we have to save and protect our children. And I have that inside of me right now. And I am willing to do anything and everything to save this country, because saving this country, I'm going to be honest. I'm being selfish. I want to save it for my children, but I also want to save it for yours and my future grandchildren.
This isn't a question, but this was interesting. They said,
she's absolutely awesome, dude. Like, again, I've been on the Carrie Lake for VP train for a long time. Obviously, I love the idea of Tucker Carlson. And we were talking yesterday with Malcolm Flex here, and he had some good points. And I don't disagree with his points with, there's no disrespect to Carrie Lake with what he's saying. She would make a fantastic VP, but we're dealing with 4 years of Trump, not 8 years of Trump. So with only 4 years of Trump, is Carrie Lake someone that can really take the reins into 2028? I'm not saying she can't. But if you look at the enthusiasm that Vivek or that Tucker can create, they create a little more energy from that perspective if you're talking about beyond 2028 after Trump. But there's no doubt about it, man. Carrie Lake is a phenomenal choice for VP, and I would support this 1,000%. I know that it seems not likely because of the Senate, and we do need her in the Senate, but it's like if you look at the whole thing, like, do we need Tucker Carlson to continue being the number one voice in all independent media? Would he be better in that position than VP? There's an argument to be made. There's an argument to be made that having Tucker Carlson as a number one voice in independent media more important than Trump's VP. There's an argument to be made that having Carrie Lake in the Senate might be better than having her as VP. There's an argument to be made. Where does that leave Vivek? Where does that leave him? Because right now, he's on the campaign trail with Trump. So there's no real position that would take him away from being that. So again, there's good options on the table right now.
Say hello to Colton, everybody, by the way.
They said, this tells me if they're willing to bribe you out, they don't think they can cheat this next round.
I've said that before. They expended a lot of ammunition in 2020. We discovered a lot of the ways that they cheated in 2020. They did a lot in 2022. And why do you think they're trying to stop President Trump? Why are they trying to indict him in 4 different, municipalities? They're trying to indict him. They're trying to stop me. They're trying to sue me. They're trying to actually stop me with a defamation case, which is really a censorship case, because they can't stop us at the ballot box. They tried to convince everybody that Joe Biden won 81 million votes. Please don't insult our intelligence. What are they going to do this time when President Trump wins by that many votes? Are they going to try to convince us that this geriatric patient who's leading us into war, who's caused an invasion at our border, are they going to try to tell us he won 100 million votes? We're not going to fall for it. And so I do believe that they are having a hard time coming up with new ways. That's why Jeff DeWitt showed up at my door and said, we want you to sit out. Please sit out. Just sit out for 2 years. We don't want you on the ballot, because they can't stop this movement of us, we the people. And frankly, I don't care.
Terrible T says, D-Day Cobra, I'm MAGA, but Trump is terrible at hiring. I've never seen such bad hiring at the White House and the administration. Okay, see, this is hyperbole, and I think this is what's, again, if you want to criticize Trump for not hiring great people, okay, fair. You're telling me that you would take the Obama administration from top to bottom over the Trump administration? Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy? Your words, not mine. You said that you've never seen worse people at the White House than the Trump administration. So you would take the warmonger Bush administration over the Trump administration? You're going to take the Clinton administration over the Trump administration? Fuck off with that nonsense. That is ridiculous. You can say that he wasn't great, and that's a valid argument. Don't tell me it's the worst administration you've ever seen, because that is fucking insanity beyond belief.
What party you're in? Democrat Party, Republican, Independent Party, Pool Party.
You literally have diversity hires in the White House right now. You have people that are in the White. You have trans activists dancing on the White House lawn right now. And you just told me Trump's White House was the worst hires you've ever seen. No fucking shot.
Pizza party, brunch party. I don't care what party you're in. It is about our country. It is about saving our country and protecting our children. And they can't stop us, and they know it. And so that's why they're trying to bribe me out of politics, sue Donald Trump, keep us so busy in court that we can't campaign. But I don't think people are going to fall for it.
People are putting money into the Rumble chat. There's a lot of money coming in. Someone said, what can we do to help? Everyone else should encourage encouraging everyone else to put money in.
Come on, Carrie Lake is a grifter now. Let's go. Let's go. We got to show Carrie Lake how to grift off those super chats, baby. Let's go.
I didn't know this
And
was a
money.
function. That's
Okay.
cool.
That's great.
You can
Well,
donate money on
you can
Rumble.
actually, I just see that my team put carrylake.com. That's where you can find out more about our campaign. You know, all of you who followed me during the governor's race, you know that we had great policy. The media tried to call us extremists and far right extremists. That was my favorite thing. And I said, well, so far I have been right. And I am extremely worried about the future of our state and our country. And I know many, many of you are as well. And that's why we're in this. That's why President Trump has great America First policies. They could be called common sense policies, but it's about time we put our country first. When are we going to start putting American families, individuals, and our safety, our security, our national security, our energy policy, and our children first? And that's what we're going to do when we get to Washington, D.C. So you can go to carrylake.com. You can support me there. I'm up against a behemoth, which is the Soros machine.
Deanna Crow, you didn't understand what I said. Trump administration was good, but Trump hired some really bad people. Sessions Barr. I said he hired some really questionable people. You said it's the worst White House administration ever, and that is factually not true in any way, shape, or form. Regardless of any mistakes that Trump made with the people he hired, he still had the best White House, and he gave us the best country, and he was the best president we have ever seen in our lifetime, despite the trash that he had to hire from in Washington. He still kept us out of wars. He still gave us the best economy. He still had historic peace deals. He still shored up immigration. He still did all of this. So he still did a fantastic job. So we can talk about his mistakes, and he made them.
And the Democrat machine, and they somehow always seem to outraise us. I mean, who knows where their money comes from? We can imagine all day, but it's probably from sketchy sources, just like Hunter Biden selling his, as I said, finger paints for $500,000. So we need to get moms and dads and individuals out there, even in this difficult economy, a $5 donation, a $1 donation, $1,000 donation. Whatever you can afford is appreciated, because we have to win this Senate seat. Why am I in this? Because we have an opportunity to take back a Senate seat. If we can get the majority in the Senate, then we can make sure that when President Trump wins, that his policies that are going to secure our border right here in Arizona will be enacted. Somebody said, why are you in New Hampshire? I said, because getting President Trump in the White House is so important for my home state, Arizona. It's so critical that we actually get President Trump in the White House, because we want to have that border secured. And I think all of us know, even if you're a Democrat and you support Joe Biden, you know he's never going to secure the border. He's the reason the border is wide open.
All right, we're getting a lot of, why did it take 10 months for this to come to light? Why?
I just put a poll in the chat. Carrie Lake, more important as senator or VP? I think it's a very good question, and I think senator might be my answer the more I think about this.
Oh, I love that question. You guys you already know the answer, because you saw the bribery audio. I'm hoping that if you were here since the beginning, you heard that, and then you saw what happened about 24 hours later. As you heard in that audio at my home, that was recorded at my home, you heard that I said, I'm very busy. I'm packing. I'm finishing up my book called Unafraid, by the way. You can find that on Amazon or anywhere you get a book. Actually, only places that sell books written by conservatives. And I said, I have to go. I don't have a lot of time. I was getting ready and packing to go to CPAC. I was one of the keynote speakers, and I was really honored to have that honor to be a keynote there. And he said, as you heard in the audio, don't tell anybody this happened. Don't talk about this. If you say no, don't mention it, which is really suspicious. But I thought about it on the flight to DC, and I thought, you know what? I have to mention this. So I changed my entire speech when I got to CPAC, and I mentioned it. I did a whole speech on this. I did a whole speech about how corrupt the government is, how I had just in the last 24 hours been bribed, almost as if it was a movie. It didn't even seem real. And I did the whole speech. And since then, in several important speeches I've delivered and even talks with just small groups, I have mentioned that I was bribed by an individual to stay out of politics. They can't have us in politics. They can't have we the people in politics because we're too dangerous to the corrupt system. So I've been talking about this for 11 months. Sadly, the mainstream media hasn't bothered to ask me any questions about it. Can you imagine that? If somebody on the liberal side had been talking about being, being blackmailed, they would have been asking questions, but they didn't ask a single question about it. So the video came out, or rather, I should say, the audio came out, and the name came out, and now they're all of a sudden interested in it.
All right, this is.
I feel like I owe Terrible T another explanation because he says, "Tell him what you're saying. You didn't say what I say you said." So the exact words in your comment were, "You've never seen such bad hiring at the White House." That was your comment about Trump. You've never seen such bad hiring at the White House. And my response was, he literally had the best White House of our lifetime. Still not good. Still had some problems. But if you're going to talk about White House administration to White House administration, Trump still had the best White House administration that we've ever seen. And he still had the best presidency we've ever seen. So it's definitely not the worst White House hiring we've ever seen. It's probably the best White House hiring we've ever seen. That's the point. So we're moving on from that, though. I got a ton of super chats, and I will get to all of those. But Terrible T, no, I'm not hating on you. So it's just a response. Nothing but respect. We shake hands as men. We might have a slight disagreement, but that's how men operate. All good.
Jordan Conradson texted me. He says, "Don't you think it's hilarious that the lefty journalists like Lori Roberts are attacking you over this rather than admitting he was wrong? Why do they attack you? What's your response?"
Oh boy, I haven't read her response. I'm shocked. Okay, let me tell you who Lori Roberts is. She's a cat lady who lives in Arizona, who is she writes op-eds for the Arizona Repugnant, as everybody calls it. I think their subscription base is about like 5,000 people in a state of 7 million. And this is the interesting thing, and this is how corrupt this paper or this journalistic entity, propaganda entity is. She is sisters with, she's a sister to one of the members of our Arizona Supreme Court. She's admitted that she speaks to her sister and talks every single day to her Supreme Court justice sister. And she writes between 2 and 7 or 8 hit pieces on me a week. So, the conversations are probably stemming from what she talks to her sister about. And it's really unethical. The corruption is so deep. It goes from the as you saw, from the political parties, from the journalists, propagandists, to the courts. She writes 7 or 8 hit pieces on me a week, talks to her Arizona Supreme Court justice sister every single day. I'm sure I've come up in the conversation. And her sister is actively hearing cases that I'm involved in, that not just me, that you in Arizona are involved in, that deal with our elections. So it's completely unethical. She's an angry woman. I'd love to sit down and talk to her, but I don't think she has the courage to do that.
I've got.
So if you're just tuning in, welcome in, everyone. Thank you for being here. Welcome to CobraCast 199. We are watching a live stream that literally just ended about 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. This is from Carrie Lake, and she is addressing a lot of the questions that were happening based on the leaked audio that we heard yesterday with her being bribed to drop out of the Senate race. And so she's addressing these live over on her Rumble channel. Shout out to Rumble. And we also are live over on Rumble. So I appreciate you guys being there on Rumble. And we obviously have a great crowd here tonight on YouTube as well. So that's what we're doing right now. This looks like it's got another 10, 15 minutes left. This has been a really, really good kind of insight to hear where she's answered some questions about, is this the first time she's been caught up in a bribe scheme in terms of offered money? That wasn't the first time. She's talking about how important it is to get President Trump back in the White House and to battle against all the nonsense going on, standing up against wokeness and things like that. So that's what's going on.
And how can you blame me? My question for her is, how can you blame me? He showed up at my home and he threw this at me. How do you blame me for that?
What do you think of Jeff DeWitt's resignation letter?
Can't talk. You're ethical.
I want to hear what. So she just said he showed up at her home and threw that at her.
The corruption is so deep. It goes from the, as you saw, from the political parties, from the journalist, propagandist, to the courts. She writes 7 or 8 hit pieces on me a week, talks to her Arizona Supreme Court Justice sister every single day. I'm sure I've come up in the conversation. And her sister is actively hearing cases that I'm involved in, that not just me, that you in Arizona are involved in, that deal with our elections. So it's completely unethical.
Trolls in the chat. Do we have trolls in the chat? Do we have trolls in the chat? Trolls in the chat. You know what happens when we get trolls in the chat? We just drowned them out, baby. We drowned them out with 199s, with super chats, with gifted memberships. Let's go. We want to party in that chat.
You know, she's an angry woman. I'd love to sit down and talk to her, but I don't think she has the courage to do that.
I've got.
And how can you blame me? My question for her is, how can you blame me? He showed up at my home and he threw this at me. How do you blame me for that?
What do you think of Jeff DeWitt's resignation letter?
What do I think of Jeff DeWitt's resignation letter? Well, it came very late. I didn't see an apology to the people of Arizona. He tried to act like the behavior you heard on that audio is normal communication amongst friends. It's disgusting. And I think he did a horrible job, and he should have just apologized, resigned, and apologized, and said he's going to work to do better.
What can we do to keep this sort of? What can we do to keep this sort of thing out of politics?
What can we do to keep, I don't know if you can hear Colton, what can we do to keep this sort of thing out of politics? We can start to elect America First candidates. I really believe that the America First movement is about rooting out corruption. It's about rooting out corruption. And we see that with President Trump. But here's the deal. The America First candidates are the ones who are strong enough to withstand all of the hatred. You know, he mentioned that cat lady who writes for the Arizona Republic. I'm willing to take 7 hit pieces from her every week. I'm willing to take hundreds of hit pieces, even though I've lived a great life and I've been kind to everybody and I treat everybody with fairness and dignity. I'm willing to take those because you know what happens on your deathbed someday? It doesn't matter what they wrote about you. You're going to have your loved ones looking into your eyes. And I hope to God that we're not living in a communist America at that time. But if we are, they're going to look into your eyes and they're going to say, what did you do to try to save America? Did you do anything to prevent this? Well, I'm hoping that my kids look into my eyes and say, Mom, thank you so much for doing everything you could to save America, to protect our God-given rights and our freedoms.
Hell yeah.
And I don't want to have that other option, which is that we've lost America. So we've got 10 months to get together, work hard, and save America. And I want to reach out to people who maybe aren't somebody who voted Republicans. Maybe you voted Democrat or independent before, and you're thinking, wow, I don't like the direction this is going. Maybe you heard that audio recording and said, that's disgusting. I don't like that at all. I want you to just look deep in your heart and say, is your life better than it was 4 years ago? Is your children's future more secure than it was 4 years ago? And get behind this great America First movement. We have an opportunity to turn this whole nightmare around. We know that the Democrats are no longer Democrats. They are radicals, and their policies are destructive. They're dead-end policies, and in some ways, they're deadly policies, especially when you look at what's happening on the border. And we have a chance to turn this around with great common sense policies, and that's what I want to make sure we get into place here in Arizona.
I've got a good one, Carrie. This says, my name is Amy. I live in Vermont. I'm sorry this happened to you. I just donated $20, and my church group would like to pray for you. What are your prayer requests?
Oh my gosh, Amy from Vermont. I get that question asked a lot. Would you believe that?
How many politicians can go do, and again, this is the difference between corporate media, career politicians, and the new wave of this rise of independent media and this new wave of how many politicians can go on a live stream and blindly take questions from an audience of tens of thousands of people? Very few of them would be willing to do what she's doing right now. She's literally taking super chat questions on Rumble. She's a YouTuber. She's just doing what we do. There ain't a politician, like hardly any other politician could do this. Carrie Lake is a real one.
Many people say, I have a prayer group. We are going to do prayers for you. And I feel those prayers. I know President Trump feels them as well. I know many people are praying for him. Pray for our movement. Pray for our country. And pray that we have to. And I know this is hard because sometimes I don't want to pray for the people I don't like. We have to start praying for the people who are opposing bringing our country back. We have to pray for, I don't even want to call them enemies because I don't think I have any enemies, but we have to pray for the people who are pushing back against saving our country, the people who we look at with maybe disdain, and pray that they find God, because this is really a good versus evil battle that we're in. It's truly a good versus evil. And I know that we're weary and tired. I'm exhausted. We've been up since God knows when. We just flew back on a very long 5.5-hour flight. We're all tired. We're going to get up tomorrow and do it again, and just pray every day that God uses you and gives the skills that he gave you, that you can use those to help save our country. I would love it if you'd pray for my family and our safety. That would mean a lot to me. Pray for our country and that we are successful in saving this great, great republic.
This is someone from Arizona. They live in Mesa. And now that he's gone, I'm concerned about the future of the Republican Party. What do we do next?
Well, that's going to be, I'll be honest. The corruption I saw in this individual, I don't think there's anybody who would be worse, to be honest. You could get a church mouse who might be a more ethical creature. And so I think actually Saturday, I've been made aware is a big meeting, and all of the Republican leaders from around the state are going to meet, and hopefully they will find somebody who is ethical and who is willing to lead the great Republican Party in Arizona, a pivotal state, by the way, in order for President Trump to win, America First policies to be enacted, and in order for me to win. We're going to need to have a strong Arizona Republican Party. So I hope and I pray, this is, by the way, the prayer warrior in Vermont, please pray for this, that when these amazing Republicans descend on Phoenix on Saturday, they come together and find a great, ethical, honest leader who's strong and smart and hardworking and can lead us through the next 10 months as we take our state back and our country back.
This one says, Carrie, who can we trust? This opens a lot of questions as to who is real and who isn't. Who are some politicians that you do trust?
Oh boy. I say this all the time. I trust the people the media is hitting the most.
Yes.
I trust the people the media is relentlessly attacking. When you see the fake news media attacking somebody.
What a phenomenal answer. Like, what a phenomenal answer. Like, holy shit, what a good answer. She's fantastic.
Nonstop. Put everything you've got behind them. Pray for them. Get involved with their campaign. Of course, I trust President Trump. And I hope and pray that the Arizona Republicans will elect a good leader for our Arizona Republican Party, and that we can then start putting our resources and energy and even donating to the AZ GOP, because we need a strong AZ GOP going into this next year. So let's see what happens on Saturday. And find these America First leaders that you see running. You will know. We need to start listening to our intuition. They call it women's intuition, Colton. It's that little kind of feeling you get in your gut. And I got that feeling a few days ago when I said, I want to look back at that recording. What was in that recording? I never, ever looked at it. It's been 11 months and I've never watched it back. And a few days ago, out of the blue, I just started watching it, and I was so horrified by what I heard. It was so much worse than what I remembered it being when I was in the middle of that conversation with Jeff DeWitt. That recording, when I heard it, as I said, my daughter was listening in. She was gasping, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is the worst. This is really one of the worst things I've ever heard. It's so corrupt.
I'm getting some questions about being employed with Jeff DeWitt. Can you talk about that?
Isn't that?
Archboy says, missed it, but was there some Trump McEnany beef? Kayleigh McEnany, the former White House press secretary under President Trump, there's clearly issues with her and Trump at this point. There was some leaked messages between her and I believe Sean Hannity that were revealed. And she basically had some pretty negative things to say about Trump, which, okay, I mean, it's not the end of the world. But then she basically was backing DeSantis. And, she's kind of going all in on the Fox News talking points. So, yes, there has been a falling out there. And I think he called her a rhino yesterday on True Social. I met Kayleigh McEnany. She was really nice. When was this? This was, I can't remember. I guess this was after. I can't remember when this was. It was sometime in 2020, but I can't remember specifically. But anyway, I met her. But I've always liked Kayleigh McEnany, but at the end of the day, she was siding with DeSantis, for sure. No doubt about that. But yeah, there is some beef there. Zero the Hero says, so many haters still think Trump could build some kind of America First cabinet when no such people were even available that could get confirmed in Congress. Building a new political movement takes a lot of time. I agree with that. I mean, look, I'm very hesitant to just kind of give Trump like a full-on pass, because I do think that there were definitely mistakes made with his cabinet choices. But there's also perspective that you have to take into account. And again, man, I'm just telling you, like, if you understand, and I'm not saying I understand it fully. Hell, I'm just some random asshole sitting in, a spare bedroom right now talking to a camera on YouTube. But, like, common sense tells you that Washington is a very dirty and filthy place. And if you just look at it within context, like when you go into any situation, for instance, I can always tie it back to retail, baby. So when I'm working retail and I'm a manager at one store, when they move me to another store, you walk into that store and you're walking into a whole different world. You've got a whole different level of personality, of structure, of expectation, and you have to work within that situation, at least for the short term, until you can bring in the people you want to bring in and kind of recreate what you're trying to recreate there. So, in a bigger scheme of things, Trump is walking into the swamp that's been going on for decades. And he defeated 3 political families. He defeated the Bush crime family, the Clinton crime family, and the Obama transgender family. He defeated all 3 of them, okay? He defeated all 3 of these families that hated his guts. He defeated the mainstream media. He defeated Hollywood. He defeated big tech. And he walked into a situation where there were a lot of powerful people that were very pissed off at him. And he had to make some selections, and he didn't do the best job at it. But he was not, let's just say they weren't sending their best, to quote a wise man. They weren't sending their best. So you have to look at it from that perspective. But thank you for the
funny that and the fake news media was like, "Oh, were you employed?" I was an employee of Superfeed, and I've always mentioned that. That's part of my financial disclosures that you have to put out when you run for governor and Senate. He was not my boss. He was an employee, a coworker, just like me. And I've actually, that's been out. That's not a news story at all. So it's funny that he's trying to act like he owned the company, because that's not the truth.
Do you think that Sinema will run? That's a fun one.
Ooh, do I think Sinema will run? That's a good question. What do you guys think out there? She's got to get about 60,000 signatures to get on the ballot. And in order to do that, she has to have those by the first part of April. So time is kind of ticking right now. She's got to be able to have the time to do that. I don't know if she will. I mean, I think with each passing day, I think it's less likely, but I'm going to be really honest. I am out, I'm running, I'm in this, not because I love politics. As you know, and as you now know, it's really disgusting. It's really disgusting. But I'm in it because I want to save our country. And so whether she runs or she doesn't run, if it's just a 2-way race or a 3-way race, I'm ready. I don't care who they throw at me. They can throw every single person they want at me. I believe that the people of Arizona trust me. They know that I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going to tip over the apple cart. We're going to set it on fire, and we're going to actually bring out a new non-corrupt apple cart. And we're going to actually start bringing policies that help the American family, the American border, American national security, American energy independence, American children, and actually strengthen our country. And I believe with everything I've got, all my heart, that we are going to have our greatest days ahead. President Trump's going to work his tail off, and so am I, to make this country better. And we're going to make America great again, as he says.
All right, I've got the last one.
Last question?
Yes.
Okay.
This one, you got it. This one says, we feel lost and we don't know what to do.
Oh.
What can we do to help the movement, and what can we do to help America?
Oh my gosh. I just want to look. I wish I could look into your faces right now. We are not lost. We are coming back. Our best days are ahead of us. The fact that you're sitting here watching this in the middle of the week shows that you're involved, you're engaged, you care, just like I do. I mean, I never in a million years, 5 years ago, would have seen myself, envisioned myself in politics in the middle of a political movement. But here we are. And everywhere I go around the country, I go to liberal cities, liberal states, conservative cities, and conservative states. And people everywhere come up and say, thank you for fighting. Thanks for talking about election integrity, for fighting for it. Thank you for being involved. This next 10 months is going to rely on every single one of us to use our God-given rights, and or God-given abilities, I should say, to save our God-given rights. Your abilities might be, you might say, well, what abilities do I have when it comes to politics? Maybe it's just picking up a phone and you like to talk to people and calling people, getting involved in a phone bank. Maybe it's answering emails for a campaign. Maybe it's protesting some of this ridiculous stuff you're seeing that the left is pushing. And by protesting, I mean not buying products that are pushing this agenda on our children. Or maybe protesting means literally holding a sign up and saying you're not for something. We all have to get involved. Get involved with your local Republican club, whether it's Republican Women's Club, whether it's the state party. And I'm hoping that after Saturday, we're going to have a very strong Arizona state party. Get involved with campaigns. We have to be involved the next 10 years. And most importantly, use your voice. The most important and the strongest and most potent weapon we have is our voice. So we got to use our voice and make sure that we are speaking out about the candidates we like. Don't worry about what the media says. Speak out and support President Trump and myself and everybody else who's a America First candidate. Are we good? Okay, guys.
So there we go. Carrie Lake. That was awesome. Thank you, Nitrium, for making me aware of that. And yeah, that was over. Oh, let me show you guys really quick. If you're looking for that, you can go over to her Rumble channel. That's where it was, right here, Carrie Lake, over on Rumble. And you can go support her over there. So that is where it's that was at. So shout out. That was awesome. Good stuff. Okay, let me catch up on some super chats. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome, the best. And man, I look at that, 2,400 people here in the Snake Pit. Let's go. Darth Racer says, Jeremy, what would you say to Dems who claim Republicans are authoritarian? Let's see. It's obvious to anyone with a brain that the Dems are the ones pushing the totalitarian policies. How would you respond to those delusional Dems? I tend not to try to respond to delusional people because what I've found is that you're wasting your time with it. Like if you're finding someone who's willing to have a conversation with you, that's a different thing. But if you're talking to people that are so far removed from reality, you're truly just wasting your time. And essentially all you're doing is setting yourself up to be manipulated in some way, shape, or form. I don't think that it's worth, if we're talking about delusional people that are just so far out there, there's just no point. I don't think that their time, I don't think they have earned the right to have your time. So if you find people that can have a conversation, well, at that point in time, if they're willing to have a conversation, it doesn't mean that they're going to be convinced of anything. But if they're willing to have a conversation at that point, you can just kind of talk about the facts and what's going on and maybe give them a couple of sources and a couple of places to go to and just say, hey, just check it out. I'm not saying you got to agree, but just check this out when you have time, if you're interested. Because just like someone that's dealing with substance abuse or someone that's dealing with, an alcoholic or whatever, until they're ready to help themselves, you can't help them. So don't even try. That's it. It's really that simple. The hidden B23 says, Jeremy, I just want to say I'm not a huge Trump supporter, but there is no denying what he did in his short term of time. I'm a working father of 4, and this economy we're in right now just sucks. Trump 2024. I hear you, man. And I get why I understand completely why some people are not a fan of Donald Trump. I understand completely. And I'm not saying you have to be a fan of him on a personality level, but if you're just looking at it, if you're calling balls and strikes, and if you're looking at what this country was like when Trump was in office versus what this country is like now, it's not really a hard decision at all. It really isn't. But shout out to you, father of 4 kids, a working man. You know what? That's a swig for the hidden B. A working father of 4, swig of water to the working man right there. Respect to you, sir. Lance for 1999 said, I'm so tired of the Trump, they quote, Trump picked the worst people for his administration. If you don't a used car lot, and if you go to a used car lot and all they're selling is lemons, how do you pick the best ones? The party presented his bad options for him. That's kind of where I'm at with it too. You know, like at the end of the day, he picked from the worst. He picked the best of the worst. I guess that's the best way you could put it. He picked the best of the worst, which still ended up being bad. I think that's the best way you can kind of simplify it. He picked the best of the worst, and they still ended up being bad. That's Washington for you. Paul S. says, none of Trump's picks in his administration were out of line for the Republican president in 2016. Says more about the party, not him. I expect better in 2024, and I believe Trump learned his lessons. And that is exactly the approach. At this point in time, Trump doesn't, he's got 4 years. When he gets back in office, he's got 4 years. He doesn't have any excuses of, I didn't like, because truly, I just think he didn't understand how bad the swamp was. Okay. I got you. I'm not going to forget Rumble rants. I've got those. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Rumble. We got 236 people on Rumble. So yeah, it really comes down to this. I think that he underestimated how bad the swamp was, which is understandable. I do think now he understands the depth of the swamp. And I also think that we are in a much different world now than we were in 2016. So now he really doesn't have very much. He doesn't have a lot of wiggle room at this point in time. He's got 4 years. He's got to get it done, and he's got to get the right people around him. Disco Cobra says, to be honest, they do try to catch y'all slipped with these supers. Funny at times, but that could be more fuel to hater trolls. Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and now again, this is something that comes with time. Okay. So I've been caught up in, listen, there are people out there that are really good at what they do. Okay. There are good streamers out there. There are good trolls out there. And there are people that they will get people to indirectly, they will get people to send super chats or send comments to try to bait other streamers to answering something so then they can respond to it, all of that. And you as the streamer, like you have to determine, like, am I going to bite? Am I going to give more, legitimacy to this comment than I should? And I get it all the time. And I know who's trying to bait me. I know who's trying to get me to say something so they can make content out of it. It simply is just, are you going to be smarter than the situation or not? And I try to, and I'm not perfect, but I try to be aware of every response and comment I make. Like right now, for instance, there is a channel on YouTube that has been going after me and people in my sphere for months, maybe years. Not a big channel. They've recently made a video that is so far over the lines of what's legally acceptable. And some of you may know what it is. It's bad. It's really fucking bad, to the point where I've already had legal people reach out to me to tell me that it's downright over the line. Now, I personally don't like to get into that side of things, but Elite Neo, I'll just say Elite Neo. That's the channel name. Elite Neo said it. Elite Neo said it, to be clear. Elite Neo said the comment. I'm not going to highlight this channel, but yeah, the things that are said are so far over the line. Like, we are talking legally over the line. It's bad. Okay? It was very fucking bad. I don't know how I'm going to proceed about that, but I'm glad the video exists and it's already been downloaded. So there's no point in privating or deleting now. But yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. In terms of like super chats, yes, there's people that like to have you read super chats and they like for you to, you know, comment, and then they say, oh, look what this person said about me. I ain't biting. Clutch City fan says Tucker Carlson would be an amazing VP pick. I have Vivek as second, but he would have to really work to get our trust. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting more and more comfortable with Vivek for potentially a high-ranking position in the Trump administration. Jay Schwalbach for 1990, 8th grade. That would put you in the top 2% of most educated in the Florida Pan. I think not. What's up, Schwalbach? Good old Schwalbach. The Rumble rant. Rumble peeps in the house. Jim Clown Biden for 20. Says, let's see, watch the counter video to Matt Kim bullshit. All right, I'll watch that. I don't know much about Matt Kim. So I guess this was like, is this about the whole getting kicked out of DeSantis event? Is that what it was? I'll have to check that out. Tex Master says, if you call Trump weak and wounded and in need of saving by voting against him, you are the furthest thing from MAGA. I want Vivek to be considered for White House dog catcher. Hail the 199. Hey, man, I hear you on that. Tex Master says, as my daddy used to say, it's colder than a witch's tit down here, but no one's getting snowed by Vivek. We see him as a fraud. He is. Hail the 199. Listen, I was right there with you on that. Again, the more we see the Nikki Haley movement, though, like, this was his whole point. And fair is fair. You got to call it like it is. And I respect that people are still, look, be as skeptical of Vivek as you want to be. I'm not going to tell you not to be, because I'm not in the business of telling you what you should do with your time, money, or opinions or whatever. The more the Vivek stuff kind of happens, though, the more it's starting to look like, man, what is going on? Because the Nikki Haley element, he's basically, his whole point was that they were positioning Nikki Haley to basically take over for Trump because they were not going to let Trump run. That was his whole point. I'm going to go to what I was talking about today before I got sidetracked with the Carrie Lake thing, which, again, thank you for telling me about that. That was awesome. But we were talking about Clay Travis. Now, Clay Travis is someone, again, I've watched Clay Travis for a long time, very much enjoy his sports takes. I've always been a fan of him as a sports commentator, not so much as a political commentator, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with the fact that I disagree with the guy. I still like his sports takes, and I think overall as a personality, Clay Travis is an entertaining personality. With that said, he was definitely on the pro DeSantis train, and now he's really upset, and he put out one of the worst takes that I've seen, and he got ratioed so bad. He posted this on Twitter. Trump can't win without suburban women and independent voters. He lost those votes in 2020 in the Philly, Atlanta, Phoenix, and Milwaukee suburbs. Nikki Haley does better with these women and would make sense as VP in the cabinet. Let's listen to what Clay Travis has to say here.
I'm not a purity guy. I'm not sitting around arguing. Like, all I care about is winning. And Nikki Haley does do well with suburban women who are independent swing voters and the people that are persuadable. And I'm not sure at this point in time that you can point me to anyone that Trump would pick that would help him win the general election as a vice presidential candidate more than Nikki Haley, right? Let's consider. I like Elise Stefanik. I love the way she stood up to Harvard and MIT and Penn. I think she's pretty smart. I think she's a talented politician. I don't think she brings you anything new. I like Tim Scott. if you wanted to argue to me, that he is going to help with the black vote, maybe I squint black men and can see that a little bit, but I don't think he really changes the dynamic very much.
Dude, this is such a horrifically bad take from Clay Travis, and he got annihilated. 6,000 comments to 835 likes. 6,000 comments. He says Trump's entire focus for the next 10 months has to be on winning back these voters if he wants to win. Clay Travis. Donald Trump didn't lose any support in 2020. He gained more support. He got the most votes in the history of our country for a sitting president. If you think that Joe Biden legitimately got 81 million votes, then we can't have a legitimate conversation. You just can't have that. If you're going to sit there and talk that noise, get the hell out of here. He didn't lose any support. He only gained support. They're the key. There aren't enough MAGA voters to win this election. Yes, there is. That's the truth. You have to broaden the coalition. Many people on social media in particular are more focused on artificial definitions of purity than on winning. I'm not. I want to win. If you don't want to win, you can't do anything. The nomination is locked up. It's winning time. This is insane, dude. This is insane. Right here, Salty, our boy Salty. I love getting political advice from people who back the dude who is already out of the race. Get out of our way. We don't have time for your nonsense. Go Salty. Randy the Savage says you were literally a DeSantis investor. Your political takes are dog shit. This is what I put. After all, why not? Why shouldn't I post a bunch of dumb shit? I mean, it's just such a bad take, man. It's a horrifically bad take. It really, really is. And we're just seeing it across the board. We're seeing it everywhere with these clowns. And I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know how he thinks that this, and it's not the only person. And again, the reason I bring this up is because obviously this was one of the main, this was the main talking point of the show today. It's the push for Nikki Hillary. And like right here, we've got this one right here. Oh man, I meant to share my screen. We've got this one right here from Kayleigh McEnany. Right here, Kayleigh McEnany citing polls indicating that Trump is struggling with independents and a third of Republicans. Says that Trump needs to find a way to unite the party. Do you agree with her? Let's listen to Kayleigh McEnany, former White House press secretary under Donald Trump.
How can you say that the guy who's beating me and will beat me for the rest of the primary will lose the general election, and then the loser of the Republican primary, Nikki Haley, will win the general election? Because that's her argument, and I don't understand it. Do you?
So here's the case she's making. President Trump, I would go home tonight. I'd go to my victory party. I would celebrate.
Yeah.
I've made history yet again. But then I'd go home and I'd look under the hood. And when you look under the hood of our Fox News voter analysis data, you find that 32% of Republicans say we won't vote for Trump. I've got to unite the party. That's the argument Nikki Haley's making. And number two, I would look, Nikki Haley won independents, according to Fox News voter analysis, 59 to 33. So I go home if I'm Trump, I celebrate, and then I say, I got to unite this party. I got to win independents. That's how I beat Biden.
This is why the mainstream media is not trusted. Kayleigh McEnany is trying to make the case that Trump is losing support. That's what she's trying. She's trying to build the case that Donald Trump is losing support. Do you want to know the reality of it? Do you want to know what the reality of it is? The reality of it is, the truth of it is this right here. Breaking. Trump breaks record for most votes ever received in the New Hampshire GOP primary. Let me repeat that one more time. Trump breaks the record for most votes ever received in the New Hampshire GOP primary. This is the same person that got the most votes ever for a sitting president of the United States of America. This is the same person that destroyed and broke records in Iowa. This is the same person that, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I go back to my bookmarks. Let me go back to my bookmarks before I don't want to, unlike the media, I don't want to talk out of pocket. Okay. I want to actually confirm this information because I believe, yes, right here, Jack Posobiec tweeted this out right here. First candidate to win both Iowa and New Hampshire in modern history. But according to Kayleigh McEnany, Trump's losing support. According to Kayleigh McEnany, Trump is losing support. This is why she's called a RINO. This is why people do not trust the mainstream media, because they do not like to talk about the facts. They like to build fake narratives. And that is the problem. That is the problem. These people are insane. Unbelievable, man. So, again, man, Clay Travis, Kayleigh McEnany, Fox News, the RINOs, they are all pushing, and we're going to pull this back full circle to Vivek. They're all doing exactly what Vivek said was happening. This was a concerted effort to elevate Nikki Haley by Democrats and RINOs in order to take Trump down or take him out. And now, because they couldn't pull it off in New Hampshire, now they're trying to push this fake, she should be his VP because she's going to give him the votes because he's losing support. And it's just not true. There's nothing true about the statements that they're making. Trump is not losing support. Trump is gaining support. He's more popular than ever. These are the facts. Doesn't mean you have to like him, but he is more popular than he's ever been. And there's no one that's going to get remotely close to him. And Joe Biden is more unpopular than he's ever been. And the Democratic Party is more unpopular and more untrustworthy than they've ever been. Those are the facts. So Vivek, as much as we had concerns, at least I had concerns and many other people had concerns, the more I'm seeing this concerted effort with Nikki Hillary, the more I'm starting to say, Vivek was on to something, bro. Vivek was on to something. Credit where credit's due. The guy seems like he knows what he was talking about. And now that he's out of the race, now he's full in MAGA. He's out there. He's on the campaign trail with Trump. He's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right stuff. He's got the right energy. The MAGA voters love him. He's got that energy that you want and you need. So with that said, that's where we are with it. So we'll just have to see how this all plays out over the course of time. But I'm liking Vivek a little bit more these days. Let me see here. Krista, I did get the some of these Rumble rants. So I got Tex Masters and Jim Clown Biden's and all that. I got those over on Rumble. Sean 487 on Rumble. Jeremy, seriously, there is a silver lining to the DeSantis and Vivek staying in. They split the anti-Trump vote so it doesn't become cancer. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I kind of can get that. That is kind of true to some perspective for sure. Sean 487 on Rumble also says, I do not understand how Hunter Biden is on video with an underage Ukrainian prostitute and not charged with sex trafficking. How is this any better than Epstein? Yeah, I mean, the Hunter Biden stuff is disgusting. And many people are finally seeing that for what it is. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of, and that's why they don't want Trump back in office. Jay Schwalbach for 25 on Rumble. Let's see. Are these from tonight or is this previous? I think there's some previous ones. Krista, are these from tonight? Some of these? Let's see. Jay Schwalbach says Melania has weighed in on the race and says Donald will win by over 6 inches. Take that, Nikki. Take it. Schwalbach trolling as always. You gotta love Jay Schwalbach. Okay, you can like Jay Schwalbach. Okay, you can like Jay Schwalbach. I don't know about love, but like him because he's kind of like that. He's kind of like that gay guy that you're like, well, he's not that bad. He's kind of edgy. so we just deal with him. Doug B on Rumble for a proper 199. You didn't get my Rumble rant, says Doug freaking B. Holy shit. Doug B. Doug B, you are a mad lad. All right. That's all I'll have to say about that. You are an absolute mad lad. Let me see here. All right. Krista, what do we got going on here? Am I reading from the wrong sheet or what?
You're reading from the sheet that you were supposed to do a square up of.
Oh.
A plus on top of like the stuff from tonight.
So where am I on the right sheet, or do you want to create another one for? I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I think you should just get squaring up in.
So just read all these, and you're just going to add the rest for tonight on this sheet that I'm on?
Yeah, because I'm confused.
Okay. You want to say hello to the chat, Krista?
What up, 199? Let's see those Krista emojis, just in case MCU fan shows up.
All right. Thanks, Krista.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, here we go. Micah F says, not trying to be a broken record, but Tulsi Gabbard is the best choice for VP. She's America first and would secure the female moderate vote that helps Trump. Also tagged you on X with a Tulsi pick you'll like. Well, Tulsi picks are nice for sure. Listen, I'm not if you told me tomorrow that Trump was going to pick Tulsi Gabbard, I would not hate it. I'm not saying I would love it either. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it. I would just be like, if Trump thinks that's the best pick, then we're just going to have to roll with it. But it's definitely not my top pick. It's definitely not my top pick at all. Not even top 5. She's not even a top 5 pick. You know what I mean? I think there's far better choices than Tulsi, but I also think there's far worse. Okay. Far worse as well. I would take Kathleen Kennedy as VP before I'd take Nikki Haley. Okay. Give me Kathleen Kennedy as VP before Nikki Haley. So I'd literally take anybody before Nikki Haley. I'd take the sanctimonious over Nikki Haley, okay? So look at the chat. The chat's about to turn on me bad. It's perspective. I'm just trying to give perspective that Nikki Haley is a terrible, terrible, terrible choice, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. John Kennedy says, in 2016, Trump was a noob and did his best with picks. Those bad picks helped expose more of the deep state. This time, when he gets back in, he will know better who to pick. Hail the 199-63215. That's right, baby. Let's go. Thank you. I agree. Ministry of Wrong Think. Kayleigh McEnany's take suggesting that New Hampshire results look good for Biden is completely flawed because it's based on Haley voters stating they wouldn't vote for Trump when we know Democrats were voting for Nikki Haley. Exactly. And that's why they are so absolutely pathetic, is that they love to be manipulative and they're not just telling you what's going on. Elite Neo for 10. Hey, Jeremy. For what it's worth, when I saw that video on Actual Fandom's channel, since you're sending a super chat, I'm going to read it. I reported that shit immediately. Not sure how much good it'll do, but I had to do something. That vid made my skin crawl. Screw Actual Fandom. Yeah, at the end of the day, man, like, there's people that don't like me. They hate me. I think that that's completely justified. I think you can hate me. You can hate my opinions. You can disagree with me. You can think that I'm not good for fandom. I don't really care about all that. That is all fair game. When you are making not even indirect, when you are making direct accusations and labels to me and my company, there is something that's got to be dealt with. That's got to be dealt with. So, it's got to be dealt with. You can't sit there. Like, the bottom line is they're taking clips from me when I was in 20. They're taking clips that are still on my fucking YouTube channel and saying, look at this guy in 2016 when he said Star Wars fans are the worst fans because they're never happy. It's still on my fucking channel. The video's still on my channel. Of course I said it. Is it 2016? The world changed. The world changed, and the entertainment world changed as well. Everything changed in 2016. Our media changed, our entertainment changed, our movies changed, our video games changed, comics changed. Literally every single thing changed in 2016. So my attitude towards Hollywood and a lot of things changed with it. And so, yeah, I mean, I always had beef with Star Wars fans because they basically ridiculed George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, because I'm a prequel defender. Always have been, always will be. Shout out to the prequels. Prequels, baby. We love the prequels. But yeah, so using those clips of videos that are still on my fucking channel, and then the nonsense about, oh, he liked The Last Jedi. Yeah, I fucking said that I liked The Last Jedi at first when I watched it. Said it 1,000 times. You're not breaking any news there. I don't care about that. But leading into things when I have proven that the Reddit situation had literally nothing to do with me or my team, and then labeling child predator accusations, that has to be dealt with. So keep making videos. Thank you. Gorgeous Mayhem says the reason why Clay had such bad takes is because he doesn't believe 2020 was stolen. People that don't get this fact don't know the score. Man, even Scott the Clot Adams thinks 2020 was stolen. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, dude, like Clay, for all of his like level-headed takes, man, some of his political takes are interesting. Doug B 450 says a week from today will be at Universal, baby. Universal Studios, let's go, man. Universal Studios is going to be lit. Man, I'm looking forward to hanging out with everybody from MegaCon. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. Jonathan Coble for $9.99 says, oh, 1/3 of Republicans would burn the country down voting for Biden or refusing. These clowns need to get over themselves. Seeing these former press secretaries land mainstream media jobs is not surprising. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And let's see. And as we speak, let's see. Okay. So as we speak, I've heard back from legal, and yeah, that video of question, I'm glad you made it. That's all I'll say. All right, Drew Barr, welcome to the Snake Pit. 11 months. Thank you, Drew Barr. And we've got Dugenheim. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Dugenheim. There was also 10 gifties earlier that I forgot to mention. There's a lot of man. Okay, we're gonna have a long night of super chat square ups. It looks like so. Holy crap, there's a lot. So, and we will get through all of it because that's what we do here in the Snake Pit. All right, I'm gonna go back to the top of this list really quickly. Where are we at? Boom. Gerald Armstrong says Texas Democrats are telling Biden to seize the Texas National Guard. So with the Texas National Guard situation, oh man, is my camera screwed up? Yes, my camera just broke on me. Hang on. I don't know if it broke or not. Yeah, it just completely froze. It looked like I was jerking off. So, okay, yeah, there it is. It was like I was like this. I was like, all right, we're back. You know, you're dealing with these DSLR cameras. All right. But yeah, with the Texas situation, obviously I'll show you the tweet that's going around, and from Greg Abbott, and things are getting pretty dicey. Okay. Right here. So I actually shared this from Matt Walsh. Right here. Abbott has Biden over a barrel. What is Biden going to do? Send the military in to forcibly open the border in an election year? I'm sure he'd like to and would if he could get away with it, but it would turn the vast majority of the country against him, those who aren't already against him anyways. And this is from Greg Abbott. And Greg Abbott, basically, you don't want to mess with Greg Abbott, all right? You just don't. So, yeah, it says the federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. The executive branch of the United States has a constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting states, including immigration laws on the books right now. President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and has even violated them. The result is that he has smashed records for illegal immigration. Despite having been put on notice in a series of letters, one of which I delivered to him by hand, President Biden has ignored Texas's demands that he perform his constitutional duties. Bro, Biden can't, like, this puts him in an extremely tough situation. And I agree with you, CK Win. Abbott is a stand-up guy for sure. My camera is completely freaking dead. But yes, so Greg Abbott is a stand-up guy, no doubt about it. Is my backup camera going to work? It looks like I'm going to have to go to my backup camera. See if that one's going to work for me. And that one's not working. Is nothing working for me right now? It appears no camera is going to work for me right now. Give me a second. No camera. I may be out of camera tonight. My camera just broke on me. But anyway, with all right, turn that off. Sorry. Anyway, with Greg Abbott being a stand-up guy, he's basically put Joe Biden and the Biden administration in an incredibly tough situation. The most promising thing here, and I know it's strange to think like this, but ultimately 105,000 likes on Twitter.
Okay, so don't know what happened to Jeremy, but I guess I'll take over now. This is a Krista Nova stream. Let's go. Let's see those Krista Nova emojis in chat, please. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. First of all, I would love to say Trump 2024, okay? Yes, I'm a Canadian, but I also love Trump. Canadians for Trump. I went for my first Donald Trump rally, and I loved it very much. Got to see all types of people. Look at the chat. Look at the beautiful chat. Hail to the 199. Jeremy, you may have to come to the upstairs computer to do this. Oh, my goodness. But yes, I went to my first Trump rally. It was amazing. You know, I saw all types of people there. I even saw Gothic people there. It was insane. They had like the chokers and the black hair and the eyeliner, just all types of people at a Trump rally. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Anyway, let's see. What else could we talk about? Ron DeSantis stole my boots, but he gave them back now since, you know, he's not running anymore. He was like, I don't need that. I don't need the boots anymore, so I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna give these back. So that's basically what happened. Look at the chat. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Hello, Jeremy. Are you there?
Yes, on my other camera.
Okay.
So
thank goodness, because I was running out of things to say.
Look at Krista holding it down. Give me just a minute. Keep talking, Krista.
Yeah, so Ron DeSantis gave me back my boots. Jeremy stole my skinny jeans though, so we have to get him for that. And also, chat, I want you to tell Jeremy to read super chats from the spreadsheet, okay? I have a spreadsheet here where I keep track of all the Rumble rants, the super chats, the Streamlabs, everything all in one sheet. And he's not really working with me. Not only did he steal my skinny jeans, okay, but he's also not working with me on this spreadsheet. And I need him to because he missed a couple of super chats from 2 CobraCasts ago, and we need to read every single one. So we got to bug Jeremy about that, okay? So please help me, okay? I'm going to be running for VP soon, and we need this to happen. So yes, please.
The fact that Krista is holding things down is just kind of crazy.
I'm just rambling at this point,
I know.
to be honest.
Hey, Have you ever watched me? That's all I do.
No, I know that.
So, all right. So we got a shitty camera, but at least we're back, and hopefully,
Jeremy, read from the spreadsheet, please. I can't keep up with you.
Yeah, I know. The problem is that you've got like the previous stuff in there
Yes,
too.
that's
So
fine.
it's
Just tell everybody this is also a square up, right? We have to read
Yeah.
everybody's super chat.
Listen, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Christopher VP.
I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. But I'm at least trying to get to some of the more recent ones. And I guess that's the thing is like you have a mix between the square up.
We'll do it live.
and- yeah, you have them. Can you separate? Like, can you put the ones that are from right now in a different color or something like that?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna go from the bottom to the top.
Yikes. Okay.
There are so many fucking super chats that I don't know.
Well,
what's
get
going on.
started.
So- All right. Anyway, thank you, Krista.
Thank you.
Chat. We didn't lose viewers, Krista, so you did good. You did good.
Yay.
Drew Barr, welcome to the Snake Pit on the membership side. Thank you. Beastie Man 420 gifting a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. Johnny the Whiz Kid on Rumble says Vivek must not really believe in Trump to pull through despite how hard he pushes against the establishment. I wonder how shocked he'd be when he prevails and wins. Let's prove him wrong. Again, these are from last week, so that's why. Let's see. And then I got the Jim Clown Biden one for 20. I got the Text Master for 10, Krista. So, and I'm going to go to the other list now. So Celluloid Dream says Jeremy loves the caucus. Well, thank you, Celluloid Dream. There is a glow surrounding me. Yeah, it's this shitty camera. So there's nothing I could probably, you know what? The only thing I can do is this right here. Let me try something really quickly. Okay. Just wait, chat. I'm going to try to pull something off. Let's see if I'm able to pull this one off. All right. There's no telling if I can do this or not. No telling. Best Krista get some chocolate. I don't know. Does Krista really deserve chocolate? I don't think so personally, but I don't know. You tell me. Krista, do you deserve chocolate? The chat wants to know. Look at Total Chaos. Dropping a 50. Get back in here and read it, Krista.
Hello. Yes, I totally deserve chocolate, I think. Look at that. Total Chaos for a 50. The chaos in your streams is what makes it special, Jeremy. Krista did great holding down the fort. Trump 2024, let's go. Thank you. Total Chaos. It's awesome.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Total Chaos. Appreciate you. All right. Thanks, Krista.
Thank you. Please give me back my G.
Oh, man. All right. Now, still shitty, but whatever. What are you going to do? All right. We're dealing with broken equipment here. We don't know what we're doing, but at least we still got the sound. And 2,000 people are still here for some reason. I don't know why. Lord Botha for $4.99 says polling data is garbage. Trump will run away with it tonight, and Vivek will come in second. Haley and DeSantis will be a distant third and fourth. Yeah. So again, these are some of the older super chats. So the Dream says, I'd invite Kerry to my caucus. We have such a respectable audience here.
Hey, Jeremy, check Rumble.
Doug B!
Yee!
For a proper 199. Holy crap. Says, welcome to Krista Cast.
Heck yeah. Krista for VP.
That's not going to happen.
You never know.
No, yeah, I know for a fact that Krista will not be VP.
Hey, I give the people what they want, okay?
Yeah.
Go through the
exactly.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, no. This is
Read
such a
all the
disaster.
soupies.
Well, like, what is this news that Trump dropped like a major hint on VP or something like that? I see.
Yeah.
No, not you, you. But apparently Benny Johnson's got a video on it. Did Trump actually, or is Benny clickbaiting? All right. Is Benny clickbaiting us, or did Trump really drop something about VP? I need the chat to tell me, and then we're going to react to it. Benny's video says Trump drops massive hint about vice presidential pick on stage. Quote, he's perfect.
Oh, vice president. I thought I meant very possum.
A lot of people are saying clickbait.
VP, very possum.
All right, let's check it out. I got to see this. All right. Here we go. right,
connections.
all right, I saw all that.
You know, it was an event where Tim Scott spoke. It was an event where Doug Burgum spoke. It was an event where big time.
Is he talking about last night when he referred to Vivek as perfect? Is that what he's done? Yeah, I think so. That's what he's talking. Benny, I love you, Benny. I love you, Benny.
Political brawlers from New Hampshire and the political sphere spoke. Carrie Lake, MTG, they were all on stage. There was only one candidate that was welcomed to the stage with Donald Trump because he traveled with Donald Trump.
Okay, yeah, I've seen. I think didn't he? I thought I saw this. Why was this uploaded 2 hours ago? 42,000 views. No, 49,000 views, Benny. Yeah, that's I know what he's talking about. Trump basically said Vivek is perfect. That's all he's referring to.
Well. That's kind of curious. And then Vivek, of course, brought the heat. Here's Trump's introduction.
Just want to introduce to you for just a few seconds, a few people that have been incredible on the campaign trail. They've been really good, and they'll have a lot to do with what's happening in the country over the next 4 years, and I'm sure long beyond that. Vivek, please come here. Vivek Ramaswamy.
Say a few words. Oh, we love you, man. I love you back. It's good to be back here. We will speak the truth and get this done. We are in the middle of a war in this country. It's not between black and white or even between most Democrats and Republicans. It is between those of us who love this country and a fringe minority who hates the United States of America and what we stand for. Between the permanent state and the everyday citizen. And right now, we need a command.
All right. So he goes through this. I don't think it was this one, though. I feel like it was the next time Vivek appeared on stage when he said this. So I don't think that this is truly any. This doesn't give us any insight as to whether he's going to be Trump's VP pick or not. I don't believe that at all. So love Benny, though. He's the reason Vivek is on Friday Night Tights. And I'm going to be hanging out with Benny at MegaCon. So be on the lookout for that. But there's nothing to this, like nothing to that at all. So I can't buy into that one, but I love Benny, and that's all that matters to me on that one. Okay. So really quickly, I think that this is an important, we got to do a poll really quick in the chat. Okay. Because the VP stuff is like, we've done this before, but, who do you want for Trump's VP? Trump's VP. We're going to do, Carrie Lake. We're going to have Tucker, and we're going to add Vivek. And then is there another one we can add? Just another option, maybe? Is there another option, maybe? So I got Carrie Lake, I got Tucker Carlson, and I got Vivek. Tulsi, I'll throw Tulsi in there just to kind of throw that one. All right, so we got 4 options, okay? Trump's VP, who do you want it to be? I'm not asking who do you think it would be. Who do you want it to be? So there's the poll right there. So you guys can go check that out. And then I just saw Drew. Let me see if I can get all the way down there. Operation Outstanding in the Field. I was just at a guest on the Luke's Rudkowski. How do you say his last name? Tonight, We Are Changed. Talked about Jab Story in detail. Please check it out. Also, see you all at MegaCon and the meetup 199. Drew, outstanding. Let's go, man. You were a guest on Luke's show. That's pretty cool. I know that again, me and Luke would disagree on a lot. We clearly disagree on Trump. And I'd probably argue with him more than anything. But is it Rudkowski? Is that how it says? Okay, Rudkowski. Okay. But that's cool, man. I'm glad you were a guest on there. And you're gonna be at MegaCon? Bro, let's go. Let's freaking go. I'm so excited for that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some deets on MegaCon really quick. You guys want some deets? You guys want some deets on MegaCon? I don't know if this article is public yet, but it will be public very soon. All the full details on MegaCon are about to be announced. And I'll probably do this again tomorrow as well. But let's go ahead and do it. Here we go. MegaCon. This is geeksandgamers.com. MegaCon is back, and so is Geeks and Gamers. The Orlando, Florida Fan Expo will run from Thursday to February 1st to Sunday, February 4th, and Geeks and Gamers will be at several panels and meetups. There is the official poster we will be giving away. All right. And February 3rd, Geeks and Gamers Friday Night Tights panel featuring D-Day Cobra, Ryan Kennel, Nerdrotic, The Critical Drinker, and Eric July from 1:15 to 2 Eastern in Theater 3. Geeks and Gamers meet and greet from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. EST at the Rippaverse booth. That is on Saturday. Saturday night, Friday Night Tights, Geeks and Gamers meet up at the Red Coconut Club at City Walk. This is the first time that has been announced right there at the Red Coconut Club. City Walk, 7 p.m. Saturday night. And then Sunday, Geeks and Gamers meet and greet from 1 to 3 EST at the Rippaverse booth. So there you go. So that's the full details. And I am looking forward to seeing all of you. It's going to be awesome. Saturday's the big day for sure. And yeah, man. So it's going to be good stuff. So I will drop those links tomorrow, probably make it a little more official on Geeks and Gamers Daily. But that is the specifics right there. So, man, it's going to be crazy, and I can't wait to see all of you. So we're going to be giving away a lot of stuff. We're going to be selling a lot of stuff. We've got Krista and Steph have put together some fun kind of like gift packs that we're going to be giving away. We're going to try to make this a good experience for everybody. And my boy Willie Will is in the chat. Good to see you here, Willie Will in the house. So yeah, man, I'm excited to see all of you. It's going to be a great, great time. So no doubt about that, man. Good stuff indeed. Oh my God, dude. Dom Luker is just all right. Dom Luker on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know about Dom. Dom just had 1 million followers. He follows me. I like Dom. Dom has been on a roll, okay? And he just posted something on Twitter. And it's probably going to upset some Taylor Swift fans, okay? Holy crap, bro. Dom says developing. Taylor Swift fans are absolutely furious over the recent Taylor Swift AI photos that are trending. I promise this is one of the PG ones. The images that are going viral are unreal, with some even depicting the pop stars having an orgy with the NFL Redskins. Oh man, that is funny. All right, that is funny as hell. Holy crap. I just saw this on my timeline. Whoo, that's good right there. That is good. That's funny. I guess I'm gonna have to go through the filth of the internet and see some of these images that are triggering so many people. So, what is this? Is this a new? This can't be a new video, is it? The leading report always, like, it's hard to say if this is legit or not, but the leading report always kind of puts like clickbaity stuff, but it says breaking Trump's plan to dismantle the deep state. And he's got a 3-minute video. So let's watch it and hear what they have to say.
My plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption.
I think that this is not an old video, but it's something we've seen before, but it's worth watching again.
And there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every inspector general's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure.
A lot of people are talking about Trump's camera. It makes him look deep fried, but my camera probably makes me look horrible. Like me and Trump are both struggling with the camera angles tonight and the saturation. Replicate Patriot says the chat is wild tonight. Let's get those gifties up. Hail the 199. I got to go to work, but I'll be listening. Have a good show, Jeremy. Bro, the Snake Pit, man, always lit, always lit. Get those gifties up. Let's go.
They are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
Yes, so we have seen this one before. I know I've seen that. So they kind of just probably repurposed that one or re-uploaded that one. And shockingly enough, right now, the poll that we posted for Trump's VP pick right now has Vivek in first. Vivek is first. And Tucker is second and Carrie Lake is third. That is crazy. That is crazy. Holy crap. I did not expect that to happen. And here's another right here with so Dom Dom has been demonetized on Twitter. It says, breaking, Elon Musk said he approved my demonetization because of repeated community notes and flags. I've had over 500,000 followers since June. I have repeatedly tagged this man since then about being targeted by community notes. When I got demonetized and blamed it on community notes, Elon replied and claimed that the community note only demonetized that post and not account, regardless of how many community notes a profile has. I don't like community notes. Let me hear what Elon says right here. This is him with Ben Shapiro. Did he actually address Dom specifically?
Not safe for advertisers, meaning it's like the topic is too contentious to expect that advertisers will advertise, with that account. If you take like Dom DeLuca as an example recently, where he says some pretty edgy stuff, and that's okay, but just as he has the right to say edgy stuff, some of it which is untrue, and he gets community noted all the time. But advertisers also have the right to not advertise on Dom DeLuca's posts. So it's like, his freedom to say what we want, but he doesn't have, he can't coerce advertisers to advertise.
Listen, I like Elon Musk and I like Twitter. Okay. That to me sounds a lot like a YouTube executive talking. That sounds like Mama Susan talking. That's exactly what that sounds like. That sounds like Mama Susan talking about YouTube. That's exactly what that sounds like. I don't like that at all. That's a massive L take from Elon. But again, I understand he has to work within advertisers, but it's like, it sounds like YouTube to me, man. Sounds like YouTube. That's exactly what that sounds like, and I do not like that at all. That was a very, very kind of corporate kind of spin that he was putting on it. And like I said, I've never been a fan of community notes. Community notes feels like it's a weaponized thing. I know a lot of people love when community notes kind of wrecks the person they want it to wreck, but I don't like community notes. I've never liked it, and I stand by that. I think community notes is absolute garbage. It's all it is it's a fancy way of saying fact checkers. Well, just let the internet take care of it. You know what I mean? Let the internet take care of it. Like if you see that's why, like, when YouTube removed dislikes, okay? When YouTube removed dislikes, and there's still a dislike extension over there, but that's how you could tell if a video was full of shit, by the comment section or by the like to dislike ratio. Guess what? They took the likes and dislikes away. Now, do you know how you can tell? You tell by the comment section. The comment section will then ratio the video. That's what will happen. Just like that video that I was talking about with that person that wants to make these insane accusations. The comment section will take care of that. The comment section will clear that up for people that stumble across that through the algorithm or whatever. That's what will happen because the internet can take care of it. We don't need community notes with fake fact checkers that have agendas and have their own biases. I don't like it at all. So, guess we'll see. All right. But with that said, all right. Stop sharing screen. Okay. Back to super chats. Where's my super chat list? Celluloid Dream. Already got that one. Let's see. Zima Devant says Tucker Carey Lake could be the next president after Trump. I mean, that's interesting because, like I said, we're looking at it now. Vivek is still number one. So now I think we got to make it a 3-person now. So now we're going to do Vivek, Tucker, and Carey Lake. All right. So there's your results. Now we're going to put another poll that says Trump's VP. Okay. Trump's VP, and we're gonna put Carey Lake, Tucker Carlson, Tucker, and Vivek. All right. All right, now it's a 3-person race. Vote away, chat. Vote away. Chef Nick Nero says Jeremy for VP. Parker for 5. Thank you, Parker. Tinhead says I wanted Lake for governor of my state, but I'll settle for VP or the U.S. Yeah, she's awesome. She is awesome. Theodore Herrera says Carrie Lake might have more cojones than Tucker. She's a badass. Kratos 2022 says Trump 2024. I'm 33. This will be my first ever election I'm voting in. The corruption has to stop. This is the great turning point in the nation's history. Absolutely. And then Theodore says Carrie has more cojones. Before movies sucked for 5. Carrie Lake Tucker would be more interesting VP, but Carrie Lake Tucker would be a more interesting VP, but Carrie Lake would be a better step-in president. That has to be a real focus for America. Crystal D says, what if Trump picked Doug Burgum for VP? I don't know much about him, so I'd have to look into it. Sweet Potato Knight says Tucker for VP. Kerry needs to be one of the Trump's lieutenants and help him in the Senate. Maybe in 2028, Trump 2024. Dave Nunn says join Geeks Amber's tabletop X-Ray Girl maid costume at $20K. Are y'all grifting off X-Ray Girl? I'm okay with that. Grift off of her. Roosevelt Media News says Vivek took a $90,000 grant from Soros to attend Yale Law School. Yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff out there about that. So Doug B for 50 says, here's my write-in, Krista Nova from CobraCast as VP. Krista, I think the people want you to create CobraCast over on your Krista Nova channel. That's what I think they want. What do you think about that, Krista? You just go live and talk about like ducks and Princess Peach video game or something like that. I think the people would like that. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. Beep for Veep. That performer 387 says we'll be in a civil war before the election comes. Like I said, I personally think we already are in a civil war. And I mean that from a perspective that I think that like the Civil War is not going to be what you think a civil war is. Like, we're already in it. They've arrested President Trump 4 times. They raided Mar-a-Lago of a former president of the United States. They raided his house. I mean, that's where we are with it right now. That's the nonsense we're facing. Brad Mann says, just got home. Let's see, from the Buffalo game. I swear, bro, someone had a Bills jersey with the name 1 and the 99 for the number and a G&G patch. What? Bro, did you take a picture? I know this is like last week, but like, did you take a picture? I need to see this. Email me, ddaycobra@gmail.com. One dickhead for 10, your first ever super chat, says America first. I agree. East Coast Toasted Boy says, hey, nice caucus. Sorry, had to. Cultural Breakdown says DeSantis shills will scrub their socials tonight. Gold Fox, a best thing for Vivek is to drop out, support Trump in 2028 run. Trump is the bull. Vivek can be the helping hand after. And that might work. Vladik says a bunch of caucuses. Michael Cox says, how big is y'all's caucus? Chris Bolt says, ha, 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 ha. All right, we got to pick it up back over here because I know there's some super chats that I've got to get. Super chats are all screwed up tonight, guys. It's my bad. I fucked it up, okay? I screwed it up. Alec Baldwin's finger for 20 says, I got four-wheeling. I go four-wheeling in Arizona, Colorado, and Utah a lot. When Trump took office, so many closed 4x4 trails reopened. When Biden took office, they closed again. Dude, that sounds so fun, by the way. I'm just thinking about how fun that sounds. But it also is depressing that when Biden took office, they all closed. Like, what a fun thing to do. Like, I would love to like go, because I used to do a lot of four-wheeling when I was younger. When I was growing up in like northern Alabama. Like when I was really young, I had a four-wheeler. tore up everything, tore up our yard, just drove. I was always on a 4-wheeler, always. And, but that sounds so freaking fun. I'd love to do something like that. Are all of them closed now? Alec Baldwin's finger. And by the way, he don't miss. He don't miss. Let me see. Lee Monger Bear gifting a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. The John Beck says the media doesn't attack Vivek. They just mouth him a little bit. Let's see. Got total chaos. Jay Hellstorm's talking shit about me in the chat, and I do not appreciate that at all. Boom, boom, boom. Judah Khan says, being smarter than the situation. Very wise words indeed, Jeremy. Hail the 199. Absolutely, man. I mean, again, it's just part of the streaming game. If you allow, like, I mean, no disrespect to anybody that sends me a super chat or anything like that. And I would say 9 times out of 10, the people that are sending me specific super chats about another YouTuber to actually like create drama, I'm not going to bite. I think there's probably like 10% of the time where it's just, kind of like, genuinely asking like, hey, Jeremy, I heard this. And I mean, no disrespect to anybody who's genuinely asking, but I'm going to side on the side of 90% of the time. It's just people trolling to get that response so that the other YouTuber can pick up your response and then make content off of it. And I'm just not going to do that. It's not going to happen. So again, it is no disrespect. It is no disrespect at all. Krista, I'm reading all of these from tonight's list because I want to make sure I'm getting some of the bigger super chats from tonight, like tonight's list, like on the YouTube back end. Lance, I got that one, the 1999, and the hidden says, for 20, it says, Jeremy, I just want to say I'm not a huge Trump supporter. Oh, I got that one earlier. That's the working father of 4, which is awesome. And we gave you a swig of water for the working man. The swig of water for the working man. We have 34 new members tonight. We're already over 1,300 likes. I have not made the decision that we're going to bump up the like number to 2,000 yet. We're closing in on that, but we've already hit it tonight. So you will be seeing the sexy back end a little bit later. Don't worry. We're well over 2 hours. So I'm going to get to as many of these as I can tonight. So Krista, here's what I want you to do. Don't worry about any other super chats on that list. That list I'm going to get on a later stream. So, because a lot of these are out of order on my end. Kendon Bronner says, this is the greatest chat. Hail the 199. Easily the best chat in the history of the internet, and it's not even close. All right. Not even close. Jake Martin says, Boston Symphony Orchestra is the best too. Talking about the greatness of Boston. I've only been to Boston like once or twice, but I had a lot of fun when I went to Boston. But I have always envied the passion that the area has with their sports, whether it's, like I said, whether it's football, baseball, or basketball. Even if the teams aren't winning, the passion for their sports teams is second to none in Boston from afar, from what I see from afar. Anyway, you know what I mean? I can't imagine what it's like to actually live in that area and be part of, because obviously I know the college football atmosphere that we have in the South and in the state of Alabama. But from a professional sports perspective, it's like Boston and hockey too. That's right. The Boston Bruins. That's right. Absolutely. So you've just got incredible passion for professional sports in that area. And I'm kind of jealous of that because I don't have that here. I can only imagine what people are going through with like Bill Belichick not being there and Tom Brady. It's got to be kind of crazy. Gonzo Sean says, get it right, Jeremy. It's beep, boop, bop, or beep, bop, boop. That's right. Proper pronouns. Elite Neo says, hey, Jeremy, just emailed you a video from Liberal Hive Mind YouTube channel and some bombshell Carrie Lake audio you might find interesting. And then I know you clarified that and said, because I was already covering it. Harbinger, the unconventional, says, see if you can get Rich Barris on here. Let's see. Polster Meets Gamers. Wasn't he talking to Benny? Guess what? I do have a guest I'm bringing on next Tuesday. So we are going to have a Tuesday CobraCast. Me and George the Giant Slayer Tuesday. It'll be, I don't know what time yet because it'll be before Tuesday night's main event, but we're going to have George the Giant Slayer on for a Tuesday CobraCast. Now, you guys enjoyed having Malcolm on. Malcolm was fantastic on CobraCast yesterday. Had a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to have George. So George got some political opinions, and he's going to be sharing them here in the Snake Pit, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. Modalicious says, bitch made. Is that like bench made, only with butterfly logo and a tramp stamp? Drunk the PO. Only suggestion I have about the intro is to add to it if he wins everything going forward. Yeah, I think it was like, what, 70% said they were okay with it. Vivek is still winning the poll. Vivek is still winning. All right, so now it's going to be Tucker head-to-head with Vivek. Let's see what happens head-to-head. All right. Trump's VP. Final round, ladies and gentlemen. Final round. Trump's VP. Tucker versus Vivek. All right, who's going to win? This is a big showdown right here. These are two heavy hitters right here. Tucker Carlson versus Vivek. And go. Vote away, ladies and gentlemen. Your vote matters here in the Snake Pit. So vote away, and let's see. All right. The Beast says, aloha, brother. Not the biggest Trump guy, but what they're doing to him is wrong, and seeing him crush it is glorious. Remained blessed. 199 in the Snake Pit. Hey, man, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you. Lance says, I dislike the intro because I tire of hearing the voices of those who despise me, but I'll never get tired of Trump winning. MAGA 199. Hell yeah. Luke Voss says, me and my 6-year-old daughter dance and go crazy during the intro. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. It is. Bird Up says, have you seen Senator Susan Collins says she won't endorse Trump when he becomes the nominee? I live in Maine and she's a RINO embarrassment. That doesn't surprise me at all. Lance Finn says, do as she says, join your local Republican women's club, Jeremy. Let's see. Dom H getting 5 D-Day Cobra memberships. Thank you, Dom H. Ian Let's Go Buck says, do not change the intro. I used the same music to make a video on YouTube when my Pirates had their largest comeback in team history. Huge inspiration. Let's see. Lady Celis a Nightmare says, Hail 199. Robert Guavia played the full 10-minute clip today. Kerry defended Trump 100%. Matthew Griffith dropped Tim Pool to come here. Viva VP Vivek. Man, there's too many V's. Viva VP Vivek. Holy crap, that was a tough one to say. Thank you for being here. I never ask you to stop watching anybody to come watch me. It's an honor to have anyone watch me, so I do appreciate that. Samuel G says, Jeremy is still a fig, but anyways, I want to say congrats for what you do always. Never stop being our beloved fig, and hail CobraCast in the Snake Pit. Drunk, thank you, Samuel. Drunk the PO. Man, Jeremy, had me host both Ripa and Gary. They are both jugga nuts. Elite Neo says, hey, Jeremy, sounds like you already had the Kerry Lake audio, so disregard my earlier super chat. Still going to shill for Liberal Hive Mind channel. Absolutely. Shout out to Liberal Hive Mind. Let's see. Southeastern Kaiju says, same GOP establishment who sabotaged the Tea Party. East Coast Toasted Boy says, you know who wouldn't have a problem with Texas exercising their 10th Amendment right to defend themselves and close the border? Trump. 100%. 100%. Let's see. J.O.H. Wicks says, a gender pretender is the Secretary of Health. I know, it's ridiculous. Dom Mate says, Trump hinted as VP pick, and I quote, he's perfect. He called Vivek perfect last night. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a stretch, but I don't know. We will see. I'm like right now, the chat, it's in a battle, but Vivek is winning 59-41. I am shocked that my audience has, like, Vivek has really won the Snake Pit over, because I feel like the Snake Pit was definitely more on the not sure we can trust him. Snake Pit, he's won him over in the last few days. That's interesting. The Drunken Sailor says, what's up, brother? Trump 2024 or 1776, and I am fine with either or both. Absolutely, man. How you doing? Dizek the Dead says, using Internet Explorer right now, Rhonda Sanchez has dropped out of the presidential race. Stratosky says, I heard a leak that Jeremy has ramen noodles for hair. It's either that I'm bald or I have ramen noodles for hair. I can't confirm, but it's one or the other. Elite Neo says, nothing against Kerry, but Vivek would be a better VP. He's got that energy and ability to relate to the younger voter demographic, which is crucial. Lean back, have a snack, take a nap says, they always tell you what they fear. Kerry needs to be exactly where they don't want her. I wanted her for VP, but now convinced otherwise. Trump Vivek. Yeah. I think that the more I have thought about it, I do kind of see the value in her being a senator right now, with like the fact that she's already on that path and she's moving towards that. I do see where that's probably a more valuable place for her to be. So that's something that I've had to evolve on, because I just was never really sure where I stood on that. But yeah, I'm starting to see that that's probably the better place for her moving forward. So, and that's from the people. The people have always, kind of like, there's been people that have told me that from the beginning, but I'm looking from a loyalty to Trump standpoint. But at the end of the day, Vivek has really elevated himself significantly, and Vivek is winning 60-40. It's kind of over with. I mean, there's over 600 votes now. It's pretty much over with. Lean back. I got that one. Leighton Hallman says, we need Kerry in the Senate. There's too many rhinos and commies in it. She would give Ted, Mike Lee, and Rand Paul some needed help. Ashen Rose 5 at D-Day Cobra memberships. Thank you. Robert says, terrible T is a bad actor gaslighting you and people in chat. He does not deserve the attention. Micah F says, not trying to be a broken record, but Tulsi G is the best choice for VP. She's America first and would secure the female moderate vote that helps Trump. Also tagged you on X with a Tulsi pick you'd like. Yeah, we talked about that one a little bit earlier. Dawn gifted a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you, William G. The breakdown of the Soros tweet threat is insane. Hail chat, hail the 199. I saw that. The John Beck says, prefer Vance or Lake as VP, young enough to be 48. Archer Blades, I got that one earlier. Zero the Hero got that one. Checking it out says, Trump had to learn who was Swamp. Now he knows and will fix it. Ryan Schaefer says, Charlie Kirk is in Arizona and would be a good GOP leader, or replace Rana or Kirk with either one. Yeah. Flag Ninja says, the longer I listen, the more I respect her. Hail Kerry Lake, hail the Snake Pit, hail the 199. Mexi Ty says, Nickery Haley. I had to say that one very slowly for obvious reasons. Sam says, I would love to see you play 007 GoldenEye 64 on your Cobra 199 gaming channel. That'd be some old school right there. That'd be awesome. WD40 says, Obama did have a better staff. They actually did what he wanted and didn't fight against him. Trump was working with rhinos and Obama holdovers. Fantastic Mr. Knox, hail everyone. I assume you heard DeWitt resigned. I did. Danish Bacon, that was the one I was looking for earlier. 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Danish Bacon. Flag Ninja says, Jeremy, you don't listen to delusional people. Then why do you respond to Beardhouse takes? That's good. Paul S says, none of Trump's picks in his administration were out of line for the Republican president 2016. Yes, got that one earlier. I expect better in 2024, and I believe Trump has learned his lesson. Let's see. Aklu P2 says, hail the Snake Pit, praying real hard for Kerry Lake wins the Senate race here in Arizona after she was cheated out of the governor's seat by Hobgoblin. Bradley Scott, really wish I could make it to MegaCon. Hope y'all have a great time. Speaking of fishing video, what's up, man? John Kennedy says, I got that one earlier. Judacon, I got that one. Jared says, did you see the video of James O'Keefe posted today? Not yet. I saw it going around. I haven't had time to watch it yet. Big Time says, hail from British Columbia. Curious on your thoughts of Tucker trolling Trudeau and coming to Canada to liberate us. Cheers to the 199. I saw the videos going around about it, so we may have to cover that on the next CobraCast. Lord Botha says independence from New Hampshire means switching to Democrats. Exactly. And Kayleigh McEnany is being extremely disingenuous when she's trying to say that there's any legitimacy to that whatsoever. It's bullshit. All right, I'm closing the poll. Vivek wins over Tucker Carlson head to head. I'm a little shocked at that. So let's see. Willie Will says, chat, are we okay with the earthquake? What does that mean, Willie Will? What do you mean, Willie Will? What is Willie Will talking about? What kind of earthquake does Willie Will have? I'm curious. Willie Will dropped some bombs last night. I don't think he's got the bombs to drop right now, which is fine. What could Willie Will be talking about with an earthquake? I don't know. I guess we'll see here in a few minutes. See what he's talking about. Not sure what he's got going on yet. What's he cooking up? Jose Taco says, my problem is all the corruption going on and the left get away with it and the media does not cover it. And look at the Supreme Court siding with Biden. Yeah, I mean, the Kayleigh McEnany comment is a perfect example of that. She referred to New Hampshire independence as not being favorable of Trump as something legitimate. We know one thing, okay? You had an earthquake in California? Really? Was it bad? I didn't know if he was like making a reference to like something like a super chat was going to drop or something. So there was an earthquake in California? Is it like a bad one? Hope everybody's okay. Kayleigh McEnany is one thing we know. One thing we know is that she's not a stupid person. She's a very smart person. When she was White House press secretary, she was on point. All right. She was destroying these reporters. She did her job and she did her job very, very well. All right. So she's not a stupid person. So she knows that these independents in New Hampshire are not really independents. She knows it's not a reflection of how independents feel about President Trump. So she's being completely disingenuous when she makes those points. That's the problem right there. That's the problem. It's bullshit. Tokyo Gaijin says these primary results are exactly what we need in the generals. Trump Vivek 2024 all the way. MAGA, let's go. Doug B's wallet. Doug doesn't like it when you miss his Rumble rant. Doug B's wallet. So funny. Pterodactyl 199 says Vivek is a World Economic Forum puppet mole. He's trying to get behind Trump so he can strike at the right time. I do not trust any who work with Klaus Schwab. Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. Those are valid things to be concerned about. So, and I guess we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. Gorgeous Mayhem says the reason why Clay had such a bad take is because he doesn't believe 2020 was stolen. Oh, yeah, we talked about that earlier. Drunken Sailor says, even though you are gay, got nothing but love for you, brother. Thank you so much. CK Win, I directly accuse Jeremy of being gay and making everyone whom he hires and interacts with gay. Jacob R says, last CobraCast for a while. I'll be stationed overseas and will deployed when I get there. I'll catch up when I can. Hail the 199 and the snake pit. Well, Jacob R, thank you for what you do, sir. We got your back. You got our back. We thank you. We're going to be here. We're going to keep grinding, doing what we can, and just being respectful for everything you do. So thank you, Jacob R, for your service. Eric Case is sending hooray for Jeremy's broken camera. Modalicious says Abbott is a stand-up guy, even if he can't. Johnny says, I'm a goth and I'm all for Trump. Let's go. Kevin Cron says, for Krista's takeover. Eric K says, Jeremy, Krista needs to learn how to read first. Krista, Jeremy needs to learn how to read first. Robert says, Jeremy, read from Krista's super chat spreadsheet for fuck's sake. Hailstorm says, Jeremy is a bottom confirmed. Flag Ninja says, Christopher V. Beep. Joe C says, mercy, Krista. What? Krista, read that one. I don't even know what that. You want to read that one? It's all this French bullshit. I don't know what that says. Let's see. Brian W2 says, thanks, Jeremy, for the membership. 199, you're awesome. Kevin Cron says, Jeremy crying because he has to read a lot of super chats, aka money for him to and for going to him and the Geeks and Gamers crew. Hey, man, somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to do it. Dominion says, thanks for the gifted. Modalicious says, we need a feather Indian as VP before .Indians. The John Beck says, the media doesn't attack. Got that one. Replicant Patriot says, the chat is wild tonight. Let's get those gifties up. Hail the 199. Got to go to work, but I'll be listening. Have a good show, Jeremy. Thank you, brother. Let's see. Let's see. Get that one. Jaded Fett says MCU fan wants it known that henceforth he should be referred to as Simpy. Simpy. JB24 says, as great as it would be to see Tucker as VP, I think his media network is too important and he wouldn't be able to build it as VP. And that is an extremely good take. All right. Drunk the PO says, did you see the reports about community notes? One account doing 72 plus community notes a day, which is isn't possible for one person. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I just do not like community notes. I know it's easy to get caught up on like, oh man, community notes wrecked this Democrat or wrecked this actor or whatever. Let the internet handle the internet. It's that simple. That's all you just let the internet handle the internet and it will work itself out. But community notes feels like a weaponization and I don't like it. East Coast Toasted Boy says J6 Shaman is running for Arizona Congress, tagged on X. Let's see, Johnny Whiskey said, did you see my chats from last week? If not, forget it. No, I've got them on the list. So I got them on the list. Uber driver of the apocalypse says, hail Jeremy and the 199 Trump of Vake 2024. Bring back bragging rights. Whatever happened to having Scott Presser on? God, Emperor Trump forever. He just never followed up with Krista. They initially made contact and then, he said like he should be available that day, but then he just never followed up. So my mistake on that, I will not talk about bringing people on unless they're actually like backstage. That's why I don't like doing the guest bit very much. So yeah, he just never followed up with us. So Dilbo T Baggins says Vivek made sense to have his VP. Tucker needs to keep blasting the deep state as true journalist. Journalism has more freedom to speak to the people compared to politicians. The Angry Badger says if Vivek wins, can you say you had the VP on FNT? Absolutely. Or you can say you had the VP on FNT. Absolutely. Drunk the PO. Nikillery. Had to be careful saying that one. Elite Neo says, hey, Jeremy, Blabs outdid you on Side Scrollers this morning when she accidentally played a clip of a Modern Warfare 2 lobby of someone dropping a hard RM bomb. Gonna have to step your game up. Terrible T says, from one random a-hole to another, you can disagree with me anytime. We need your voice. Great show. MAGA plus America First plus Snake Pit 199. Appreciate that, brother. It's all I care about, man. We can agree, we can disagree, we can argue, we can fight, but at the end of the day, getting Trump back in the White House is all that really matters. One dickhead says, I find it funny all these candidates have not talked anything about foreign policy. They haven't. Legalize adulthood for 20. Says Jeremy, the transition looks like it's proceeding well, but maybe your doctor can adjust your hormone regimen to get that beard to come in evenly. It looks like pasted on hair clippings. Hey, it's a sexy beard. Thank you, Legalize Adulthood. Now we go to the square up portion. I'm not going to get to all of them, but yeah. So Johnny, I read one of them, and then the next one says, even if Vivek could be the next guy, it wouldn't matter to me because Trump is taken down. I will never vote again in my life. The only last thing I will ever vote for is national divorce. And this was kind of like a few weeks ago when like the whole Vivek stuff was happening. It's before he dropped out. And I got the first 3 or 4 there, all the way down to Text Master. I got that one, Krista. Johnny Whiskett says, I cried over J6, but for a different reason, that we lost, not Trump had lost. I was worried for our future. I was disappointed and depressed and scared. My vote was robbed. I felt all hope was gone. I understand that. I understand that for sure. Let's see. Text Master says, as my daddy used to say, it's colder than a witch's tit down here, but no one is getting snowed by Vivek. We see him as a fraud. He is. Hail the 199. John DeWitt's kid. But you, Ryan, and all the Geeks and Gamers helped me pull through and keep me positive. Through you, I've learned to stay strong, be smarter, and keep moving forward. I really appreciate all you do for me and all. Well, thank you, Johnny. That is awesome. I think you're going to be at MegaCon, man, so it's going to be awesome. BMO Beta says, Jeremy Fig 2024. Hail Rumble Chat. Let's freaking go. And I want to check really quick something. Why does my computer, like, it's almost like I don't know what I'm doing. Even though there's 300 people watching on Rumble right now, baby. It's almost like I don't know what I'm doing. James Peterson on Rumble. Vivek is not eligible. He is not natural born citizen. Yes, he is, isn't he? Of course he is. He's got to be eligible. Dara Muth says, Jeremy, next CobraCast, be ready. I'ma come and make your Alabama reading comprehension come into the fold. Let's go Rumble. Wisdom Prevails for 10 on Rumble. Love me some Carrie Lake. Might be a bit low entry position for her, but she would make an excellent press secretary. She would, but I think that's a little beneath her. Vault 95 says, here for the Superior IRL show, Cobra 199 is takeover, and I look forward to your success leaving the beanie in the dust. Hail the chat and the memers in the snake pit. Let's go. General Duality, hail to 199. How is it less than a week? Jeremy drops an N-bomb, and today Blabs plays a vid of someone dropping an N-bomb on side scrollers. Who is dropping the next rules of 3? Ryan. It's not a question of is Ryan going to drop it. It's the question is he going to drop it on stream? True Mr. Gentleman says, just got 100% Wonder Seeds, flower coins, and gold flags in Mario Wonder Special World. I'm just going to enjoy your stream while my depression heals. Thanks. There is nothing worse than finishing a great game or a great series, like on like a television series like Netflix or something, because you have nothing left. You're like, I got nothing left. There's nothing left to do. You know, it's so depressing. So I totally understand that. And so I hope we gave you a little bit of entertainment on this stream. I hope we did. Sean 487 says, Jeremy, seriously, there's a silver lining with DeSantis and Vivek staying in. They split the anti-Trump vote so it doesn't become cancer. And then I got the second one from Sean. Vault 95 says, isn't Luntz the creepy soy boy who built a perfect replica of the Oval Office in his house? Yes, I'll play that right now. Again, Frank Luntz. It's the creepiest thing ever. All right. Frank Luntz, his Oval Office. Frank Luntz is a fucking psycho. Okay. I mean, he's an absolute psycho. Is this it right here? Here we go. Okay. All right. If there's women or children in the audience, please understand that this is going to terrify you. And I apologize for what I'm about to show you, but it's scary. This is scary.
So, Frank, what am I looking at? You seem very presidential today. Where are you?
This is actually my home in California. This is a 78% replica of the Oval Office. And over here, as I turn this around, this is the Lincoln bedroom. So I'm the only person who has an Oval Office that you can actually sleep in, and you don't have to be a presidential intern.
This is not a green screen. Like, if you got out of your chair, and I don't want you to because you have a mic, you could actually walk back there. There's depth.
Yes, I'm going to show you what it looks like.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is a genuine Resolute desk. I'm going to put it there behind me so you can see, including the buck stops here.
Wow.
We've got the humidor from Bill Clinton. Let's see if I can get that in the shot. There you go. This is the whole thing. And that is behind me is the painting of George Washington that was in the Richard Nixon White House. This is the red phone. This is the famous phone that was used to contact the Kremlin in the 1970s and 1980s.
Wow. That's something. Wow. That is something, Frank. I'm still trying to get my head around the Bill Clinton humidor.
That's just weird. And I saw Lisa said this is no different than action figures. Like, I disagree. Like collectible action figures, I disagree completely. And nothing but love, Lisa. But this right here is not, because what it comes down to is Frank Luntz is actively working against a sitting. He worked against a sitting president of the United States of America. He's working against Trump. He's an activist. So he's not a fan of the president of the United States. If he was, he would respect the office as it was. He's an activist. He's actually like worked against the guy. This is why people highlighted this in the first place, because he became someone that he had TDS. He worked against him. So like I can understand like just having like respect for it and being like, this is a historic thing. This guy is a Democratic left-wing activist and a psychopath, and he's proven it time and time again. But yeah, I mean, if you've seen him, like he gets really upset over Trump being so popular. He gets very upset. Like, for instance, like for me, I'm not a fan of Ben Affleck's Batman. I'm a fan of Batman. I'm not a fan of Ben Affleck's Batman. Does that make me dislike Ben Affleck? No, I think Ben Affleck's one of the greatest actors on the planet, and he's a great director. I love Ben Affleck. And I think his Batman has the badass aspects of it. It doesn't make me dislike Ben Affleck as a person because I didn't like his version of Batman. Frank Luntz hates Donald Trump. He despises him. The most important political figure in our lifetime, and Frank Luntz, who has a replica of the White House, hates the most important political figure of our time. So, let's see. Somebody said Tucker called him out for something. Really? I have to check that out. I didn't know about that. Tucker, man, don't call anybody out though. Let's see here. Disco Cobra for 10 says, to be honest, they do try to catch y'all slipping with these supers. Funny at times, but that could give more fuel to haters' trolls. Yep. And it works a lot. It works on a lot of people. Maybe I should just give a class on not getting caught up in troll comments or super chats. Clutch City fan says Tucker Carlson would be an evasive VP. I have Vivek a second, but would really have to work to get our trust. I hear you on that. I hear you. Drunken Sailor dropped a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you, Drunken Sailor. Nate says, and here come the Vivek shills, reeing in 3, 2, 1. Again, this was a couple weeks ago. Stephen Brown, how does this sound? But boy, I think that's going to be too. He has always been full of crap and a fraud. I don't know what you're talking about in that comment at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Dugenheim, Orange Man cometh. Dugenheim also 5 gifted memberships. His Snake Eyes plushy body pillow. I don't have one. I don't think I'd buy one of those. It sounds a little weird. And let's see. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier gifting a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. Lisa says that song, that's a long list of super chats. Now everyone's in their member chats. Damn it. Don't do that to me, Lisa. BMC says, would Tulsi be a strategic VP? She would, but I don't like the idea of strategic VPs. I don't like the idea of that at all. That is just not something I'm into. In terms of, he needs a VP that's going to have his back. If you want to talk about that being the strategy, then that's fine. But this, when you're asking for a strategic VP, it's more so for the optics of getting votes. Donald Trump is the most popular sitting president in history, and he just got the most votes ever in the GOP primary. He doesn't need optical help. He needs someone that's going to have his back, and that's all I care about. RC member message 11 months. Thank you so much. And with that, we're going to call it a night. I got to get ready for my next stream, which of course will be Fortnite. I know. Another Fortnite stream. Look, last night, we were the number 2 Fortnite stream on YouTube. And what's funny is a big streamer came into the chat and accused us of view botting. No bullshit. All right. They accused us of view botting. All right. They asked me, they said, are you view botting? How do you have so many people watching you? They accused us of view botting. And I was like, that is crazy. So me with my Trump Fortnite thumbnail was the number 2 Fortnite streamer last night on YouTube. And I had big channels coming in there accusing me of view botting. Do you know how mad that these Fortnite streamers are going to get if we keep creeping up? And if we can push 1,000 live viewers consistently on these Fortnite streams, bros, we're taking over. All right. We're taking over. MAGA's coming for everything, baby. We're coming for the Fortnite streamers. We're coming for Hollywood. We're coming for the music industry. We're already dominating the streaming world. Let's go. MAGA taking over, baby. That's what's up. Love it. So, with that said, we're going to show that sexy back end right now. And again, thank you for almost 1,500 likes. Almost 1,500 likes. Legalized adulthood. Do you think Pence was a strategic VP? I never understood why Trump picked him. He 1,000% was a strategic VP. And that's why I'm saying I don't like the idea of a strategic VP. Pence was a strategic VP 1,000%. It was to shore up that Christian conservative kind of, base. That's exactly what Pence was. He was a strategic VP pick. And that backfired on Trump big time. Tom McDee says, Jeremy, ever consider going to MobiCon 1 year? Just curious. 199. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that is. But thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for that sexy back end. You guys know it. Almost 1,500 likes with 1,500 people watching. And look at that. Look at that. We have just on YouTube nearly $700 in chat revenue, 35 new members. And on Rumble, I think Rumble is close to beating YouTube in super chat revenue tonight. It's close. Oh, Mobile Convention? Okay, I wasn't even aware of that one. Tom. But yeah, Rumble's close to beating YouTube tonight. So there we got that chatception. That's right. Legalize adulthood with 20 gifted memberships. Let's go. Legalize adulthood in the house. 20 gifted memberships. Let's see. And let's see. Are we going to hit 50? I think that'll put us over 50. I didn't look at the number. So we're at 40. Well, we can't have. Okay, there we go. 50 new members. 50 new members. I think we're going to get more than that, actually. 54. So over 50 new members tonight. Thank you, Legalize Adulthood. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to all of you. And Krista took over the show. Krista, get in here. Get in here.
Hello?
Krista Nova, CobraCast took over.
I mean, I felt bad because, you left. And so I had to give the chat what they wanted, which was a possum show.
Oh, boy. No, thank you, Lee Monger Bear. Appreciate that. But yes, good job on Christopher holding it down when I had technical issues, which I often have. But okay, we're going to leave you there. We're almost at 3 hours. I've got to end this. We're going to raid the other stream. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. I'm not going to do the outro tonight because I have to get this stream ended and get my other stream set up. So we're going to end it there. All right. I'm going to read some more super chats over on from past streams on the Fortnite stream, but this is going almost 3 hours. Plus I have daily tomorrow. I'm almost dead from all the streaming I've been doing. So I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you in about 15 minutes. Krista, are you playing?
Yeah, I got to go eat first because I'm hungry. God bless America.
Bye, Krista. Bye. All right, everybody. Have a great night. And we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.